Oh, but right, I'm the one that's doing the introduction, so I've really done well there. So, hey, this is Crick Cats. We're here in the city of Moil, and we're gonna see what the party is up to now. One thing that I have done is, if everyone do you recall the very first room we went into when we were in Moil?
It feels like it was just yesterday. But just in case it wasn't just yesterday, maybe you could remind us?
Absolutely. So, if you recall, in fact, I could probably show the map if you'd like to see it. I just have to launch the game here. Uh, it There was one of Sindra Sylvain's party was outside, sort of clutching at a ring of spell storing, if you recall. Then, as you got a little bit further in, there was the room with the accounting office, and it had the wall safe, and there was a piece of loot that you picked up actually that first day that is in Kirby's bag that probably I should have pointed out at one point. There was a notebook there, and I made a copy of it, of what's actually in the notebook for everybody. So if you look in your backpacks, there is Killer Bijan's Guide to the Beautiful City of Moil. And I'll bring it up on screen so that we can see it once my Roll20 launches. We were talking last time, sort of when we were not casting, but we were talking about how confusing this map is. And so what I have done is endeavored to try and make it a little bit less confusing. So I need to log in as the correct person with the correct credentials. Where's the log out? There we go. And then sign out. Sign in as me, as the GM this time. There we go. Launch it. This is exciting, right? I mean, this is really why people come to this channel, is for this level of quotidian detail that is boring, because...
I come from the new vocabulary, to be honest with you. Quotidian?
Yep, it's a good one.
What does that one mean?
Having to do with the daily grind.
I fucks heavy with it. Quotidian.
All right, here we go. Where are we at? Okay, so people on the stream can see. Let me move you to what the handout looks like to give you sort of a summary. So, can everyone see what we're looking at now?
Yes.
Great. So this is the City of Moil. This is actually from the original module. It's not necessarily to scale, but one thing that I have tried to do is make it a little bit easier to visualize where things are. So we are right here near the Tower of Webs, and so the pretty kitties are right around here, and then we came in to the City of Moil here. The obelisk was here. The various places that we've been, but this is a much better layout for the map itself. So you can see down here the different things that we've been to, or at least the towers that are there. And so hopefully I'll be able to keep better track of where we've been and what we're doing and what doors go to where. But that's everyone has a copy of that in their journal, I believe it is, or in their backpack, or however. You have a handout in your bag and Roll20, and that's what you can look at. So let's go back to where we are at. The Tower of Webs. You are on the span between the Tower of Webs and the Hollow Tower, I believe it is. Have to check that to make sure. So that is number 8 should be the Hollow Tower. Yep, that's the Hollow Tower. It doesn't have anything in it except for the entry, above and below there. And then the Tower of Webs is where we're at. So number 9 on that map but also up here. Come on, map, move. Oh, I gotta close this. Also up here where we are. So um, where that actually is right here between the two towers. And we had cleared out the local flora and fauna that had come to investigate and try and suck the life energy out of you. And so, as far as you know right now, the span is clear. That you haven't attracted any other interest, as far as you know.
Hmm.
So did we ever get down to that puzzle cube?
Did we?
I mean, I
No.
did. I got down
Uh,
to it. We didn't do anything there, though.
no, you had killed everything. Casimir had gone into the web and walked down to it. The winter white came out. You cleared out all the spiders. Um, but no, you have not dealt with the puzzle cube entirely yet.
Okay.
Maybe we should go.
So do you
that
want to
before
go
we walk across this bridge?
Yeah,
into
I
the
guess we should probably go ahead and finish that up.
Yep. So that is the old Tower of Webs, which is right here. I don't know why the tower suddenly got very, very, very small. Does everything look very small on your side?
I think it's the same.
Yeah, I've had to zoom in, but I think it's
You,
actually the same. Everybody's in the
yeah,
same position they were
I
in,
think
so.
the background, like the map size, is much larger now.
Huh. All right. Well, it should be, well, as long as it works and it's not messing up the stream, then we're good. So you had taken out your the spiders and everything, so I'm going to move all of that off of here. And the winter white is dead as well. And Casimir, you're over here sort of on the landing looking out. But down in this area down here is where that, it's about 15 by 15 because the winter white was sort of frozen and hanging from the other side waiting to be activated. And he's pretty big, but you didn't see him until he came out from behind it. So it's not something that can move around, but you do see some sort of etchings on it that might be of interest.
Huh.
Okay, so who wants to go check it out?
Longbutt
I mean,
puts
there's
his
only one.
finger on his nose.
I don't know about you, but when I go on this web, the only thing is it kind of hurts my feet a little bit. Besides that, I'm kind of fine. How about you guys? Can someone join me down there?
When you say hurts your feet, what do you mean?
I mean, it is very cold.
Ah, even with the boots.
Even with the boots, it is biting.
Ah, this is how you say unfortunate. What if we were to fly? Can someone fly, or is there some other solution?
Do my
I mean, if you wish to walk
I
down
could
there and
fly.
read the, you can read the engravings. So really, if you, I mean, we could heal you when you come back. It seems fairly straightforward.
So are my
Well,
my little web golems still there?
How long do they
A
last?
minute or something?
I mean, if they are there, like how long did we
It was,
did
I
we
think,
take a
between
rest?
4 and 5 rounds. No, we haven't rested.
Yeah, okay. So you got about 30 seconds left on them. It's a pretty big, unknown weight cube. I can put it back on the map so you can see them. What did you want to do with them? Is
I
the
was
question.
thinking maybe I could have them like pick me up and carry me down there,
Oh,
so then I don't touch the web. You know?
yeah, absolutely. Now they should have been taking damage this whole time, but I don't think I
But aren't they
did.
made up out of the web?
Yes, so that they wouldn't have to. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm going to move this guy. These guys need to go down to the token layer. Yeah. So you got about, I don't know, 30 or 40 seconds. They could definitely shuttle Casimir down there. I mean, in theory, you could stack them and then use them up as they go and get more time, but that seems silly and probably
No, it's concentration 1 minute.
yeah.
But you know what I
That's
can
a-
do is if we space them out like 10, 15 feet, just like have them throw one person to the next, to the next, to the next.
yeah, you could do that.
And then just throw us all down there into the web.
What are their athletics abilities?
It probably not enough to lift us.
I mean,
It's a funny idea.
it would be funny because one failure would drop you into the web.
God.
And the chance increases, or the chance of all of them being successes decreases sort of rather quickly if you do the math. But not to meta.
I mean, I could just fly.
We might
You
need
could.
you to fly down there at least to pick somebody up on the way back. But if anybody wants a free ride on the web golems, go now.
Now, I want to point out that the web itself is it's very thick and you can walk on. It's not like a set of very thick cables, like they strung across the Golden Gate Bridge in perfect spider shape. It's more like a funnel web, where it's very, very gauzy and somewhat thick. So, but there are definite, structural pieces to the web, but it's a very, if you were to fall from a height, you would not fall through. You would be stuck in the web. Like you couldn't miss this web in the spaces because it's a very gauzy kind of funnel web that fills the space. And it's all sort of like hanging down like those, as I said last time, but nobody could hear because we weren't streaming. But it was like those those diagrams of black holes where it's like all being drawn into the center. That's kind of what this room looks like, but it's with sort of gauzy, webby, horrible stuff that hurts because it's so cold. It's like emanating extra cold in Arctic temperatures.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go down like I have before, just
Okay.
until the way down to it. Yeah.
That sounds good. So in that situation, there's a piece I need to read to you about that, which is where'd I stick that? You would think I would have called it the Tower of Webs. There, I did call it the Tower of Webs. Okay. So, if you recall, when you get down there, you see this, which is illustration number 39, show to players. Now, obviously, the Winter White's not there anymore. You took care of him. But you do see sort of this puzzle cube hanging down. And then I'll read the description of the room to you again. An expansive mass of glowing webbing constitutes a sinister ceiling within this shaft-like enclosure. Thick braid of luminescent webbing hangs many feet down from the central mass, suspending what appears to be a black cube, 10 feet on a side, 15 feet on a side. Strange designs etched in red decorate the surface.
Okay, so the whole cube itself is not covered in web, but part of it is.
Yes, so like the diagram shows. I'm not sure if you can see the diagrams, so I'll describe it. The diagram is of a cube sort of hanging by a thread from one of its corners into a larger web above.
So I guess I'd have to make a hole in the web, like I'd have to cut through it and then slide down it like a fireman's pole.
Yeah, or you could attach a rope to it and slide down to it. Like cut a hole, lower a rope down. That would work. But you wouldn't at least at that point you wouldn't be in contact with the web. I suppose if you could fly or hover, when you cut the web, or if you try to cut the web, you feel like it's going to sort of like be very gauzy though, and sort of flop around.
Suppose all I need is an incision, though, to kind of like go up and down through.
Yes. Yep.
So yeah, I guess I'll stick with the fireman pole idea, just making like a nice slit to go in and out of.
So I'm guessing it's probably going to take you what, 2. So, given how far away that is, how many rounds do you think you'll be in contact with the web, because it's that D4? If we look at the
How long is the
distance,
string?
it's 70 feet, and then it's another probably 70 to 100 feet down. So call it 140 feet that you've got to move, which your maximum movement, Casimir, is pretty far, right?
90.
90. Okay, yeah. So you could do it in 2 rounds, and then another round probably to climb down the string, as Ken pointed out, and then you can be at the cube and able to look at the different faces and the what the writing says, perhaps.
Okay, so 3 rounds.
So one more
Yep.
D4.
So 3. Yeah,
You have
and
any,
then oh, go ahead.
you have any temporary hit points left, Jay?
That was the last of it.
Okay, Roger.
So now I'm back to 0.
And so, also give me an athletics check. I'm sure you'll be fine, because it's meant to be sticky. But just to be sure you don't fall from the climbing down the fireman pole style web.
So not acrobatics.
Acrobatics is fine too. That would probably be a better roll.
Okay. 34.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're fine. You do not like handling it with your hands, because your hands are getting like very frosty, even inside the gloves, and you're like trying to minimize how long you're like because it's like really bad. But you get to the cube and you don't have to touch the web, but you are going to need to hold on to something or onto the cube so that you can kind of survey what it says. So can you describe sort of what your plan is for that?
So there is this central web that it's hanging from, right? So there's just like a big, like central rope that's essentially in the middle, yeah?
Yeah. So imagine a Rubik's Cube, and you've got like a Spider-Man web stuck to one of the corners, and you've held it up in front of you, and that's how it's dangling.
I guess tying off a rope to that, like the central part of it, would make sense, just so it can move around.
Sure. Yep. That would do it. Spider climb. You might be able to stick to the sides. Would do it for sure. So there's lots of options. But yeah, rope would do it. Do you have a rope?
I don't believe I ever lost a rope, so yeah, I should do.
Last night we realized that we'd used all of our ropes, and the DM was like, "I'm sorry,
man.
you used all of your ropes," and we're like, "Fuck."
We also have a rope of entanglement.
Yes, that would. Yeah. So then you could just like sling it over at the web, and it'll stick, and then you could just sort of hang by it, and then you'd have 2 hands free because it would just hang on to you. That'd be cool.
True. I mean, I
All
could
right,
also just say spider climb, because that's also easy, but yeah,
Just slide down.
we'll try the rope first.
So you are able to climb through, and with that sort of amazing acrobatics check, I would say, with style, you are able to Tom Cruise Mission Impossible, like lower yourself down, flip around, and do like a cool move, and you're able to read on the bottom of this cube. It says, "Many tales have I, or many a beginning. If I fail, people sigh. Whales mark their passing. And so there are 3 plaques also on the sides here. And so, what is your passive perception?
That's not very good. My passive perception's 11.
That's enough. You notice that they seem raised in a way that you might be able to push them down.
Okay.
And so
So 3 flux.
it says, "Many tales have I, or many a beginning. If I fail, people sigh. Whales mark their passing." And so there are these 3 plaques then on there, and you see one of the plaques depicts a mighty oak tree with many roots reaching down into the loamy soil. Number 2 shows a cat with many hissing, snake-headed tails. And the 3rd plaque shows a rope with one end frayed and partially unraveled. Now, unusually, you notice that this writing is in Common, not Moilian.
Right.
We don't know what
Right.
that
So
means,
it's like,
right?
okay. Yep. Asarak.
Casimir, are you okay? Okay.
Yes, I'm fine. Just I found a riddle.
Riddle.
I guess I'll relay the riddle.
Yeah, okay. Is that far? I mean, because you're about 70 feet out and about 70 feet down, it's about 140 feet. What is the considered range for, like, a shout? I'm sure it's
Far.
fine because, yeah, I'm sure it's fine because I bet you this grain silo type thing we're in is going to magnify it. So yeah, definitely you can relay that to us. There's no competing sound.
And if people were having a little bit of trouble listening to me, I could always do, thaumaturgy. Your voice booms up to 3 times as loud as normal for 1 minute.
Mon Dieu! You do not need to shout, my friend. Ah, my ears.
My ears.
All right, so we've got a riddle. Thoughts, or you just want to start whacking plaques and see what happens?
Many a tale have I and many a beginning. What was the second part?
Many tales have I, or many a beginning. If I fail, people sigh. Whales mark their passing. It's a tree, a cat with 9 tails, or a frayed rope.
I guess the frayed rope seems to make the most sense to me.
I agree.
Yeah, I guess I'll go push the frayed rope side.
Okay, so you hear a click, and the entire plaque, which was very real and mechanical, and you felt it in your hands when you pushed it down, disappears, and there's no seam left on the metal of the cube. And so, and that's it.
Nothing else happens.
Nope. You look around and you go, huh.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
The plaque is
Yeah.
gone. You should be able to see what's inside at least, right?
Does it just become a blank side?
It just becomes a blank side.
Does something happen?
You can investigate further if you'd like.
I would definitely like to investigate further.
Sure. Give me an investigation check.
14.
You are reasonably confident that this cube is solid, but it's not any kind of metal you've ever seen before.
Okay.
Interesting.
So I'm also gonna guess that True Sight doesn't pick up anything.
No, the other plaques do remain in place, though, and they appear to be real, which, until you had pushed on the rope plaque, you felt it was real too, but it disappeared. Either they're very good at machine, tolerances, or there's something technological and magical going on here.
Hmm. Well, if they were illusions, I'd be able to see through them. But if they're not illusions, if it's mechanical,
They are not. They are not illusions. From every possible way of looking at them, as far as you can tell, they are real.
Okay. I guess I would go back to where the rope was tied off and yell up. I pressed the one with the ropes, but it did not help. It just disappeared.
And
Okay.
because Dr. Cox's passive perception is so high, he notices that one of the points that the web attached to the wall pulls away. The web is still there, but it is pulled away from the wall. And you quickly look around and you feel like the edges of the web might be shrinking a little bit.
What do you mean shrinking?
That it's pulling away from the wall, and that pieces of fluff are sort of starting to drift away from the edges of the web.
It's like it's peeling
If
off?
if it continues, it looks like it. Yeah, the web is starting to peel off.
Guys, the web is
Um,
coming off of the wall.
Casimir, can you get that? Can you bring it back? Are you able to? Can you?
Too big
can
and too heavy.
Oh, good.
And so it's really starting to pull away from the wall. The amount of time that it took for us to convey that to Casimir, it's probably 25% of the points on the wall have started to fall away.
Can my web golems
And-
try and hold it up against the wall?
Absolutely. Yeah, you probably have about 15 seconds of that left. So that's like
okay.
call it 3 rounds left.
Lombard's not gonna hesitate. He's gonna use his elemental gift of flight.
Oh, whew, I wasn't sure where you were going there.
He's gonna use one of those slots there. And he's gonna fly over.
Can you move your golems, your web golems?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, start
yeah.
move them the distance that they're able to move in 1 round.
I can't move
And
those targets.
okay, so I will say. Oh, I thought you. That's why I asked if you could. So there are
that's what
some
you mean.
points. There are some points over here that are starting to fall away, and so I assume you're going to want to send these guys
Half
to
to the top, half to the bottom.
Sure. Okay. So, where
They
are
move
these
30
guys?
feet.
Are they on? Are they on the GM layer? No.
No,
Are they
I
on
can see
the?
them.
Yeah, we can see him.
Hello. Can you see them? Yeah. So I'm going to send these guys down here, and I'm going to send these guys this way. Is that about right?
Wherever the edge of the tears are.
Yeah. So I mean,
Also,
that's
they
where
can
they're
dash,
going.
so they can move 60 feet and around.
Okay. So let's say that they are able to sort of get to the wall, and so they're holding up, and then they can now spread out. So, Casimir, what are you doing during this time? You have depressed the cube. You've investigated it. It appears to be completely solid and inert to your way of thinking. And you also now begin to notice that the web is starting to collapse, and you feel the vibrations of it as the cube begins to drop lower, an inch or two at a time, sometimes 3 abruptly as the web begins to sort of rip away from the walls of this tower.
All right, and then in that time, I'm also gonna fly over to Casimir. I guess using my using the Goldenstein almost like a skateboard broomstick or something, just for flavor.
Like the Golden Surfer.
Yeah, essentially. It'll be like, Casemere,
Now,
you're gonna fall.
because of the nature of this web, you do need to give me an acrobatics check to get past it, because it is sort of, the strands are sort of like drifting in the air and floating, and so you're getting it. It's difficult terrain even in the air. So if you could,
is it specifically in acrobatics, or do you want an acrobatics or athletics?
whichever is going to be better for you.
Athletics. 15?
Yeah, that's enough. That was exactly enough. So you,
Perfect.
with some difficulty, you're like, whoa, whoa, and you're sort of getting out of the way of these strands as they drift past you, and the web is dropping lower, and they're sort of coming down quickly. You get to Casimir, and you're like, and you say,
I say, Casemere, you're gonna fall. Get up come up here.
You know what? I'll hold on to it. But we need to make a decision. Do we press more or do we leave?
I'm going to spread some of our web golems out the distance that they could probably start to hold onto. Okay.
I know this just happened, but what's the one that Casimir just pressed?
The rope.
Why don't we press the one that's on the other side? Like the exact opposite side of it.
I guess maybe the tree would make more sense than the cat.
Meow.
So, yeah. All right.
Hmm.
All right. Well, hanging on to Lombard, I'll press the tree one.
Okay. You do so, and with much anticipation, you expect that it will sort of melt into the background. But this time, instead of sort of lowering into the cube, it melts like mercury and runs off as though it were some sort of false metal. And then you also notice that the web has started to accelerate in its collapse. And the the web golems are straining, and you notice that they are probably not going to be able to hold this web much longer.
Whatever you're gonna do, do it fast.
Casimir, press one more, but I leave it up to you. I don't know.
Fuck.
I'll just get us
Alright,
out of
let's do
here. Press something and I'm getting us out of here.
Use me as a human shield. These webs cannot affect me. And I'll press
the Goldenstein revs like it has a dual overhead cam V8.
It's like a jet ski, like a 500 horsepower jet ski. So so you press the other the cat with 9 tails,
Mm-hmm.
and it melts, but it doesn't melt like mercury. This one melts and immediately goes into gaseous form and dissipates. And the cube, the rope holding it, snaps instantly. And so if you guys can also give me either your athletics or acrobatics check, I need to see if you're surprised by that and are able to react.
Well, I'm holding on to Lombard anyway.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry, I rolled the 29. My bad.
Yeah,
It
29.
just took a second.
29 will do that. That's fine. So Lombard's okay. And as this thing drops into the abyss, it's a bit of a surprise, and so yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you're like, whoa, oh, and you just watch it disappear, and it just becomes what little light is out there. It is reflecting, and it's like suddenly it's gone, like it was enveloped by something made of black velvet that angrily consumed it. Like the darkness itself consumed it. And you are now hovering with a... do you remember the parachute game in kindergarten? That was always great, right? You get on the edges, everybody would be like, "Foomp!" And so you have over your head at the moment, and you are in the middle, a parachute type of lethal webby strands, and you guys happen to be flying through what's about to become very difficult terrain if you don't react.
Hey, Casimir, we're getting the hell out of here.
Let's go.
Okay, we go. We get back
I'll
over
draw
to the entrance.
the what's it called. Yeah,
And,
yeah. Well, I'm gonna be cutting at things as we're going, just to clear them out. So rapier is drawn.
With what? Oh, with the rapier. With yep. Okay. So you notice that the magical weapon is able to. So as you're weaving through all of this on the Golden Stein, like a pro motocross or jet skier, or one of those Red Bull acrobatics airplane pilots. You fly through these like massive collapsing slabs of web that if you had gotten tangled in it would have killed you probably, because it would have pulled you down into the abyss doing 1d4 damage every round. But you make it, and you land on the landing, and you look down and you see the last of the web goblins, probably the one right here in front of us, scrabbling as it tries to hold on, and then it lets go, and it evaporates because it's the magic that holds it together is no more. And we now have an empty tower, and you hope you've done the right thing. Or you've done the wrong thing, and something terrible will happen later.
Can that possibly be the answer to that puzzle?
The rope?
No, dropping it like that.
You don't know.
That
I
would
don't
be
know.
really funny.
I don't really know at this point, but I feel like it's a little too late for us to find out. Well, it's not too late. It's just the only way we're gonna find out.
Unsatisfying end to an adventure. For you.
I like how I look like I'm a prisoner in a dungeon, and Kirby looks like she's on an episode of Blue's Clues. That's awesome.
Moil's an odd place.
Waiting for Steve to show up in his striped shirt and hand you a Mai Tai.
It's actually how you go through the portals. It's Blue's good do, we can do.
That's right. That's secretly what's been driving all of this all along. This is where the first Steve ended up. So
He's Azrak, actually. It's Steve.
oh god. That's canon. Okay, so we are looking out at a what looks like an express lane straight to the abyss. And we're watching increasingly smaller and smaller pieces of frosty web drift down until they too are consumed, almost aggressively, by the darkness.
Well, every side was pushed, so I mean, one of them's got to be right. In fact, I'm certain I was right the first time, but never mind.
As Asarak seems like a very reasonable person who would not make it possible to completely fail, right? And I look and everybody's like, that's probably exactly what he would do. And I'm like, that's great.
I mean, he gave us hints to get to the bottom of the 2 of the 9 guides. I don't know why he'd make this so difficult.
So what? Could you tell me what happened again? With what was there was some sort of little. I'm sorry, I was not paying attention.
Oh yeah, there were like a bunch of floors, and every floor had a plaque on it, and every plaque had a hint. Well, the first 4 floors, every plaque had a hint on like what to and what not to do on the floor. And then floors 5 and 6, we had some alternative experiences.
Très bien. So now it begins to make sense. I have no further input. I have served my purpose of exposition well. I have no further input.
I mean, there's 3 more sides to the puzzle cube. Could we press them too?
They're gone. That puzzle cube's. I mean, yeah, if you want to dive after it into the negative plane.
I'm thinking about it. I'm going to be honest with you. The intrusive thoughts are winning.
It's going to be 1d12 damage every round. You're going to be immobilized, and you're gonna anything that attacks you will have advantage. So, and basically everything will attack you. But
All right. Well, maybe intrusive thoughts.
you
can
do
calm down.
you.
All right. All right. Well, I guess that's all we're going to see of that. Bye bye.
Back to the room with the bars and see if one set of them has disappeared.
That seems like a
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, we can do that.
possibility. But we would have to wander through the abyss over these spans again with the flying creatures, which seem not to be so troublesome. But
We have to go
yeah,
back anyway, don't we? We're like at the end of a.
Yeah, we can't go any other direction at this point.
We have to go back.
don't know. Let me consult Killer Bijan's guide to the city of Moil, for he is well known as the foremost authority on travel, interdimensional travel in the city of Moil.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
yes.
we booked this with AAA.
Right. Yeah, you're. This is a one-way tower. There's no other way out, and it's back to the Hollow Tower, which, if you recall, it has a entrance at the lower level that we are at. You know, like we'd go and we'd look up and we'd see across the expanse. There would be a entrance above, and so we navigated it before with the Ninja Meow's train.
Shuttle service.
Bucket Brigade shuttle service. That's a better way of putting it.
So we gotta go back.
Yes, we've got to go back.
And as soon as we get to the portal
Like
chamber, we can just
Samurai
go
Jack.
To the... Jack. As soon as we get to the portal chamber, we can just go to the hub again and see if the bars are still there.
Sure. So, I want to take a quick look at my journal entry for that. Because I want to see how many towers we need to traverse, so I can see how many times I need to see how many times we will encounter things. We want to go to the. I envision these as being that notebook. This actually folds out, and it's impossible to fold back in. Like, it has somehow become far larger than even the little notebook that was in the accountant's desk at the beginning fits. So Kirby's got this giant map, and she's trying to, maneuver it. But yeah, so we're at number 9. Number 8's the Hollow Tower. Now I gotta look it up. Here, I can show it to everybody. And then the Portal Tower is number 4, I believe. And we want to go to the... Which tower did you want to go to?
Back to the hub
One
so
with
we
the
can
bars.
see if the bars are still there.
Yes. Okay. Sure. Where did I put that map? Oh, right. It's the weird one that is the strange square tower. So it's not a map, it's a handout, which is...
I mean, you can see it on the guide, right?
Oh, that's the Aqueous Tower. I definitely did this map because I definitely did not want to be doing this, fumbling around, looking for the map while people are waiting on me.
Black ice.
There it is, number 16. All right. Yes. So the Tower of Black Ice is number 16, and that corresponds to number 16 on the guide. So, with that said, how do you want to go there?
From the portal?
Well, if you look at the guide, we're at number 9. We need to get to number 16. There are myriad ways to get there.
Isn't there only like one way for us to get back there?
Well, you can go to from number 9 to number 8. So this is number. Hang on, I got to do the. Oh, I can't move it that way. I can do it this way. Well, that's why I made this map. So we can all do this. All right. So here's the map. We are here. This is the Tower of Webs. You have destroyed the mechanism that is the puzzle box, and hopefully that was the right thing to do. This is number 8, which is the Hollow Tower. And then we want to get to number 16, right? And so that we can get to the span at 14, which is right here, right? And then you can go to 3, then you can go to 1, and then you can go to 15. And then you can go to 16. What do you want to do, is what I'm saying. There are many paths that you can take.
A portal there last time. Where's the portal?
Portal is number 4. Tower of Portals is number 4. So you can, we can go number 9 to number 8, down to 14 to 3, head on over to the obelisk at the entrance, and then over to 4. You can see why I didn't link this map at the beginning. It's like a New York City subway map. Yeah, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, call it 5 possible opportunities for encounter, would you call it? Because we're crossing the spans. And so let me do a quick... and scroll down to chat. Okay. All right. So we're definitely going to encounter some resistance along the way. And to do that, I'm just going to use my generic bridge span map. And so let's assume that we are about to go over to the portal of, or the Tower of Portals, and we're all on the bridge, and hang on. Okay, and looks clear.
All right, then I'll do what I always do and sneak across first.
Yeah, you're successful. You're always successful. I'm not even going to look. 31. I said I wasn't going to look, and then I'm like, I want to look.
Curiosity gets the best of us.
I mean, even a 1 for you is like an 18, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
as
we
far
got
as you
one
can
follow.
tell. Oh, great.
Thank you for the follow.
That's
Thank you.
Arlena Bloodgrave, who's going to be participating in this Saturday Night Slaughter. Greetings and welcome.
Oh, sweet. Those are fun.
Also, we've got somebody in chat with the name Lurks.
No
Hey,
kidding.
yep.
That's great. Do they speak Moilian is the question. I
Are they a lurkser in the chat?
I asked how long it was in Moil,
Okay.
and they did not reply.
oh,
Yeah,
well.
it sounds like a lurkser to me. Okay, that's the second time in 5 seconds I've made that same joke.
Yeah, well, I mean, shotgun approach. One of them's going to work.
That's
So-
true. Gotta get that spread damage.
Yeah, that's how jerks work, right? You keep telling them
Yeah.
over and over, and they'll get funny.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then you explain them so that way they get it the next time you tell it, and then you tell it again right afterwards. It's awesome.
I'm assuming we've collected our golem here as well, because he
we
could not.
leave him behind.
He couldn't cross from the Tower of Portals, and I'm assuming he didn't stomp around, on the bridge and throw rocks because he got bored, right? I mean, he's inert when you're not telling him to do things. All right, so Casimir makes it across. He's like, "Come on in, the water's fine, everyone." Of course, nobody even noticed that he made it across, or that he was missing, and they're having a hard time seeing him now because he's so stealthy.
Seemed to be the case.
Now, are any of you wearing armor that would reduce your stealth to disadvantage?
I am, however, I'm still flying.
All right. Well,
So I don't know if
then,
would I cling clang on the ground, or
wouldn't you
cling clang at all
more?
flying?
Wouldn't you make more noise? It's a more kinetic kind of movement, right?
I don't know. I feel like it would be more of a whoosh than a.
I feel like you're not swinging your arms or your legs, so
Right, like I'm not like I don't have to
Yeah,
like flap
okay.
like a bird. I just kind of go, you know.
I was
I'll
ambivalent,
leave
but
that
you
up to you.
convinced me. So we'll call it you don't have disadvantage when you're flying
Okay.
for stealth. Are you flying?
I hadn't stopped it yet, and it gives me
10 minutes.
it gives me
Okay.
10 minutes of flight. So, and I can hover during that time. So, I mean, I'd say I'd probably still be flying at this point.
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna fly across.
I need you to roll a 1d20,
Okay.
a 19 or a 20. You're fine.
I rolled a 4.
You are struck by lightning,
Ah,
and so
even over the bridge.
Yeah, even over the bridge.
Okay.
And you need to give me 2d10 of, or take 2d10 of damage, unless you have mitigated it in some way.
What kind of damage is it?
What is
Is that
electricity?
force?
It's called electricity or lightning damage.
Yeah,
Okay,
lightning.
I don't have any I don't have any resistances to that. So that's a 12.
Yep. And so you take the damage, and you are, let's say you've made it halfway across.
Okay.
You are still in the air.
Yes. So I'll move my token back to like the halfway point because I guess at that point I would have been struck by lightning.
Yes. Struck by lightning.
So this is the thing.
Do you want to stay in the air?
I had temporary hit points, and I've already got a lot of our hit points already too.
Flying is cool as shit.
And I feel like getting struck by lightning takes a lot less time than killing a bunch of birds. However, I'm the only one of these guys. I'm the only one of us who's going to fly across. So everybody else is going to have to try not to attract the flying things.
Correct.
And I'm not really worried about the bird things because I got word of rate. I'm just going to get off. I'm going to go on the floor. I didn't even think about the lightning. I'm going to be honest. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, I'm going to walk the rest of the way.
Yes. I imagine that you're hit by lightning and you like fall to the ground and you're sort of smoking and you're like, whew.
Could Mal possibly, I don't know, cast Pass Without Trace?
Yes, you absolutely can.
I think this would potentially help us, you know.
How many people can Mal pass without trace?
But it would probably help.
Yeah.
You know.
It just says
good call.
Each creature she chooses within 30 feet of her. So
awesome.
I think that's everybody that's around her.
Yeah.
Of course, not Lombard, who now has to roll with disadvantage because he's going to walk the rest of the way.
I mean, you could also just hover. You can hover instead of fly.
Yeah, but hovering just means no speed at all. It just means that I'm floating in the air.
Yeah, until Ninja Meow's bites onto your boot and drags you the rest of the way, hovering in the air.
But I think the fact that I'm in the air moving is what's causing that, anyways. Because remember when we'd throw things off of the bridge, some of it got struck by the lightning too. So even when we were the ones that moved it, the fact that it was moving through the air is what caused that to happen. So I think I'm gonna have to probably just bite the bullet on this one.
Okay. So everyone now has passed without
So I
trace,
rolled a-
which
I rolled a
except
5. Did I do it?
we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
So, Mao, describe your pass without trace ritual. Tell me how that happens.
Boy. Okay. So, oh boy, I don't know how I'm gonna do this because it's taken me a moment to do it. I'm gonna be like, oh boy. I think I'm just gonna kind of get into the zone, and I'm gonna cast the spell. I'm gonna be like, okay, please, do not detect us, scary little things, running around amok. That's
And
ritual.
you do that, and all of the normal noise that you hear, like of people just sort of clanking around, especially people wearing armor that can, sometimes reach 10 feet, and weapons that can reach 10 feet away. It sort of like goes down significantly. So now that gives everyone, except for Casimir, who's never needed it, and Lombard, who desperately needed it, stealth. So if we could all do stealth rolls with advantage, or not advantage, stealth rolls with plus 10, right? Or what do we get for that? Plus 10?
It's plus 10, yeah.
Plus 10, yep.
Plus 10 to dexterity stealth checks.
Awesome. So, yeah, everyone do your old stealth check, please.
So Ninja Meow's got a 31.
Nice.
Because pass without trace.
I don't think the golem needs to make one because he doesn't have any like life aura, right? So I don't care about him.
Did that roll? Yeah, there it goes. And then 24. Yeah, that's good for me. I'm not going to roll for Cindy and Lurch. I mean, I'll just do a 1d20 plus 10 for both of them. And they get a 26, so they make it. The golem, I'm assuming, is good. Syrup, of course. No one would attack Syrup. He's too adorable. And then there's Lombard, who, after getting zapped by lightning, which in itself was an impressive and violent, loud display, and landing on the bridge, you get up and you start clanking towards Casimir. And as a result, you do attract the attention of... and because we've gone through multiple spans, and this is the last one. They're all sort of here at once now, and so we need to go into combat. Let's roll for initiative, and then I'll put my birds out. Let me click on the initiative roll. There it goes. Now remember, these are for more than one encounter. I'm just doing them all at once, especially since we've been dispatching them fairly quickly. That said, there's a lot of them, so we're going to probably want to deal with them.
Yeah, because none of these towers have doors, right? You can't just go in there and close them.
Correct. Yeah, they don't. They're like archways, and whatever doors they had appear to have been like like if they had gates or something, they've sort of fallen into disuse and rusted away. And then I need to roll initiative for this little guy so that we get him into the order. I'm not going to roll 29 or however many. I think it's... I can't remember
Looks
what
like
I
you
rolled
already
for that.
one.
Oh, I did? He's in there?
Yeah, with a 19.
Oh, all right. I don't know how I did
Could
that.
Could you remove Ninja Meows from the turn order? I forgot he goes on my initiative.
Yes.
So this is the one in the turn order. And maybe you want to mark him so you don't delete him on accident.
I'm trying to get Ninja Meows out of the turn order, but I can't. How do you get Ninja Meows
Just
out?
mouse over on Ninja Meows and you'll see there's like a trash can.
Yeah, it's not...
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, right. I must have done it. Am I in there?
I
You
do
are
not
not.
see Sylveon.
I definitely clicked.
Do you have your token?
Oh, that's why. Oh, that's why. I'll just add him. I got a 4. Add turn. Rocket a 4.
I think that's a 7.
Oh,
Actually,
with
it's an
yeah,
18.
plus 3.
No, I
What?
see. You had the other thing selected when you hit that, I see.
Yeah, so I got a 4. Lurch is there, and Cindy Medron is here. All right, and we're good to go. And which one did you say had the initiative? This one?
If you just mouse over on the...
Ah, yes. Got it. Yep. I'll mark him so I don't...
So you get 2 of them in the initiative order now.
How did that happen? I didn't mean to do that. I just clicked on him and it rolled initiative for me. That is not something I've ever had it do before. Okay. That look good? I think we're good.
Sylveon's
This
still on
is-
0.
This is why they pay me the big bucks.
We also need to re-add Sabretooth Ninja Meows.
No. He goes on my initiative.
Oh, he's gonna go yours? Okay.
Okay. The negative fundamentals go first. And I'll say that they have moved into this position, and this is the full extent of their movement, and then they will end their turn. Because they've just sort of come into existence, flying up out of the ether below from the negative plane. And so that is Dr. Cox. It is your turn.
I think that's good right there. Let me check and make sure. I got one thing I gotta look at. Yeah, so Lombard is within 60 feet of me, almost. Hold on, I gotta move 5 feet forward. There. I'm going to hold my action to cast Vicious Mockery on the first one of those things that comes within range of me, and I'm done.
All right. Lombard, you look over your shoulder and you see a wave of negative fundamentals coming toward you. You hear the subtle strains of Apocalypse Now playing. Wagner.
Negative fundamentals.
Wagner.
Why did it have to be negative fundamentals?
You hear the strains of Wagner as they scream out from the void at you.
Oh God. Okay.
Dun 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 dun. Oh, sorry.
For the sake of continuity, Lombard has been
Dun dun
feeding
dun
his golden
dun.
stein. Lombard has been feeding his golden stein with the money necessary from our virtually bottomless coffers at this point. Make sure he still has that 10 feet of reach with the hammer, as well as that 1d6 of radiant damage every time he hits somebody. Obviously, that doesn't matter right now, just for the future, if/when they get into range, because I don't have a lot of AoE stuff, but I do have a firebolt, and I'm gonna use it.
I'm mad as hell, and
And
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
throw it.
take it anymore.
Sorry, I should have
Yeah,
told
so
you I
that
was gonna throw it at, but I'm gonna throw it at that guy right there.
yeah, there's enough of them, and because I'm combining encounters, I'm gonna apply a rule for this one for splash damage. So anything in
Okay.
excess of what it takes to kill them, you can splash against another.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
All right, so 25 is definitely a hit. You full on in the face. It's screeching as it is catching on fire.
It takes
And you
25
do,
fire damage.
yeah. So this one is instantly caught on fire and falls to the ground.
Okay.
And you now can pick. That does that does 6 damage. It takes up 6 damage of the 25 that you've done, so you can distribute the remaining.
Okay, well, I'll hit this guy too.
Yep, and so that'll take him out.
That leaves it. That takes
That's
us down.
12.
Okay, that's gonna be that guy now. So all three of these guys.
Yep, and so that is
I got
18.
one more.
And you can do one more for 24. And,
Let's just go ahead and go with this top guy right here. Seems to be
Yep.
the next closest. So let's get him,
yep. So he's gone as well.
and then
And
that
then,
one extra damage can just go to this guy below him. That's
Yep.
fine.
So there you go. All right. That is your turn. Casimir, you look over and you see all of this going on in horror because you are so quiet. You hear that loud clank, and you stop and you go, oh, and you turn around. You know, it's like that scene where they knock the corpse into the well, and it just goes on and on forever. The sound, and it summons all of the goblins and the. Oh, look, they have a cave troll. Weta Workshop, not a sponsor.
Part of what Casimir is thinking is he's like, is that lightning gonna go back down again? Like, is it gonna strike twice? But
True, you
then
don't
he's
know.
also- yeah. But then it's like, all right, well, I gotta do something. So, gonna do a bit of Eldritch Blast at these guys are coming up.
Very good. Yeah. Let me get some guys off the board so that I don't accidentally use them again.
So we got 17.
Yeah, so 120 feet, I believe you can move and you can shoot, or you can probably hit them from where you are, right? Yeah, you can hit them from where you are. You have a target-rich environment, and you are weapons-free.
Hey, so 17.
17. Obviously, that will take out the first guy here.
No, like 17 to hit.
Oh yeah, definitely, it hits. Yeah, these guys
okay.
don't.
So-
Oh wait, yeah, no, that is exactly enough to hit actually. It does 10
Wow.
force damage. So you kill one. So you've got 22, 25, 17. Yeah, so they all hit. So 10, 8, 5, and 3. So that is 16 plus 10, 26 total damage.
Yeah, I'll just be aiming, I guess, in this row. So if it hits, and
Yep,
it's enough to
so-
carry it forward.
That's enough to take out 4 of them with 24 damage.
So that'll be these 4 in a row then.
And then 2 damage on this last guy down here.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you kindly. That's
Nice
the end of my
shooting,
turn.
Tex. Yep. That's some mighty fine shooting, Tex. All right, so Lurch is just like getting tired of all of this absolute craziness. She was in a civilized city before. She couldn't pay her debts, and she was trapped in a mirror, and she knew that was going to happen. And then she found the body of her partner after all of this time, and now she's just like, it's all weighing very heavily on her, is what I'm saying. So she's going to run over here to the edge as far as she can go, which is 30 feet. So that's going to be, she can go to here, and she's going to pick up some of these tiles and just start throwing them at these things. But they only make it, she doesn't have a very good throwing arm. They make it to about here, but she's just screaming. She's like, "What have you done to my city?" All in Moilian, obviously. So Lombard gets a little of it. Casimir can understand, and then but she's not able to do anything useful, and so Cynthia comes next to her and says, "Are you injured? Can I help you? How may I be of assistance, Citizen Lurch? Are you injured? Can I help you?" And she tries to give Lurch a Goodberry lollipop, and Lurch just throws it into the abyss, and she goes, "I am sick of your lollipops!" And so Cynthia ends her turn. And Sylviane then says, "Mon Dieu, there are many of these creatures. I need to close the distance between me and them so that I may be of some effect. I am wildly out of position, and so I will dash 60 feet to get into position, which will consume all of my action, and then I will end my turn. I pet Syrup as I pass, and it is Syrup's turn. Does Syrup do anything?
Oh, well, really quickly, Syrup and Mao, I believe, were flipped on the initiative order. Mao is
all right.
have the 3. I don't know what Syrup initially rolled, to be honest.
Okay.
I know Mao had the 3.
Are you even in the turn order? Am I not seeing you in the turn order?
I don't see Mao in the turn order.
Well, that needs to be fixed. What did you roll?
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
R-
I didn't
Rock
catch
and
that at
rock.
first. I
You
saw Syrup.
The Moilian Mastiff rolled a 17.
Why does it show more than that when I hit it?
I'm assuming Syrup is just sort of licking Lurch at the moment, trying to comfort Lurch, who's having a bit of a breakdown at the moment. And let me sort the order again real quick. There we go. That should be right now. Cross his fingers.
It depends on Syrup's dex.
I don't know what Syrup's dex is. Let me look.
Let me pull it open. I had it open a second ago. Don't know why it closed.
Has a dex of 15.
All right, Syrup goes before Lombard.
He's got that doggy dex. They're all wiggly.
Oh, jeez.
All right, Mao, it is your turn.
Matt is just gonna move closer and try to shoot a little bit with the longbow.
Okay.
Try to shoot it like the one that's kind of closest, kind of
Yeah.
right here. I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely want to prioritize it.
Yeah, because they're all kind of pretty far away.
And you've noticed that when these things die and they land on the tiles here, that they start to dissolve like the tiles themselves. These are highly volatile, constructs of negative energy. 17 hits. That is just enough.
And that was my second roll that went through. It always delays, and give it 1 second for that damage on the 17.
Yep. 3 damage. Takes it down half. So this one, It's got 2 arrows in it, but it's barely staying in the air. But it is still flight capable.
And then the Innsmouth's turn.
Clay Golem, we turn to you for your wisdom, O Silent One. So silent that Ken's not even here. I assume the Golem looks solemnly on at all of us. That brings us to the negative fundamentals turn. All right. So, want to verify their movement when they're flying. Yeah. Okay. They have 50 feet of movement because they can fly quickly. All right. So these 4 are going to close in on Lombard. And these are going to move up to the edge of the bridge. And these guys are going to do the same thing. They're going to close in on the bridge. Now, the ones which have closed with Lombard are going to attack. So, Lombard, you have 4 of these negative energy things flapping around you. And one of them flies at you and attempts to, smack you with its body, like trying to push you, possibly towards the edge, but definitely it's trying hard to ram into you. Does an 8 hit? It probably doesn't. Right. So that is 1. Then does a 20 hit?
Yes.
All right. So that is going to be 2d4 necrotic damage. So I'll let you roll your own damage on this one.
4.
Okay, so you have taken 4 damage, necrotic. And then the 4th one flies in, attempts to do the same thing, but it is not very good at it. And then the last one is a 17. Does that
17
hit?
hits. 17 hits.
17 hits. All right. And so they are going to do another 2d4 necrotic damage.
4.
All right. So you've taken 8 necrotic damage from these things. And they are flapping around you, and it is very distracting.
When one of them dived at Lombard, it would have activated my
True. Would have activated your biting words or cutting words. So let's hear it.
mockery.
Give me your best mockery.
No one will miss you when you're gone.
It doesn't understand, and but it understands your tone. And let's see how it does with a Constitution saving throw. Wisdom saving throw. What I meant to say was a Wisdom saving throw. 24. Does a 24 save?
It does.
And it looks at you, and you can't tell, but on its face, it's like, please. But it's also your turn, so you can attack him again if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna target the same one and say, "Oh yeah, well you're ugly too."
And he throws a 17, which does not save. And how much damage does that do? Yeah, it winks out of existence. it's not able to deal with the existential problem of the words that you have used to tear its poor, fragile psyche to shreds.
UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly.
You ugly. Yeah, you ugly. That is now Syrup's turn. Syrup, bring it in. Show us how it's done.
Oh boy, syrup is actually oh boy. I think how far is it to Lombard? Syrup, right? Can't pull the little thingy.
Oh, Lombard's a good distance away. He's almost.
Right, yeah. So
Yeah.
Syrup's
I
actually
believe
gonna
Syrup.
stay close now.
He could run eight. He could go 80 with a dash, I believe.
I think he's gonna kind of go just a bit like over here,
Okay.
right there. I'm just kind of in the turn there.
Very good. All right, Lombard. You are swatting at these things around you.
All right. Well, one of them's dead, right?
One of them is it evaporated in a wisp of angry energy that clearly felt disappointed in itself at being insulted to death.
All right. Word of Radiance on the other three.
Oh,
DC 15 Constitution save.
Nice. All right. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3.
One of them failed, so one of them dies. The other two
and the
are fine.
others, do they take half damage?
Nope, it's a cantrip.
All right. So yeah, one of them. It does the Wilhelm scream as it disappears.
Oh!
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's that one. Yeah.
Okay.
But they're two, and they're in your hair like bats, and you're like, they're in my hair, ah. That looks ridiculous when I do it with the lighting.
That's all I can do, so I'm just gonna sit here and take it, I guess. Don't take that out of context, Joe.
Darn it. I was about to say name of your sex tape, but you ruined it. Anyway, so we've got Casimir, it is your turn.
All right. So I guess I might have to move a little bit forward this time.
You're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Hey, yeah, I like the whole point and shoot thing, but now, I thought I had it perfect. Nope, gotta move one more up. All right, I'm gonna shoot at the two that are on Lombard right now.
All right.
So here we go.
So they actually have a advantage against magic. So I didn't roll that for the two that just went down. I forgot that, but I'll be doing that from now on. Eldritch Blast, since it's an attack, though, I think that's fine. I also noticed that I have copied and pasted the wrong information from one thing into another, but that's okay. It doesn't affect this. So 1, 2, 3. One hit, 17 hits. Yeah.
All right, I'll aim for the one that's closest to me for 1 damage.
Oh.
You rolled wisdom saving throws instead of constitution saving throws.
Yeah, probably. What was I supposed to throw?
Constitution.
So 2 of them fail. Right. So yeah, you blast it. 4 of them go sailing by Lombard, who is like, woo, whoa, woo, but they miss the fundamental, who zigs at just the right moment, except for one who gets a glancing blow.
I'm helping. Don't worry, Lombard. With me around, you're safe. And
Thank you.
that's been my turn.
All right, Lurch sees that these things are getting closer, and she's gonna use her full movement to get over there, because she's sick of these things being in her city and everything being upside down in her life, and so she does what I forget. She actually has a weapon. I don't think she has like a standoff weapon though. Is the problem? No, she's got a dagger, an Amoilian short sword.
Remember
Oh,
what do you call those? It was the pipe that she used with like the darts, arrows.
yes, the darts, exactly. Yeah, I forgot about her darts. She has, I'll link it in chat, darts of homing. How do I link in chat? Can you not show it? Right, so she opens up her hand, and these darts, there are 10 of them, fly out to the targets. And so she does 10 of these attacks, basically. They can go up to 60 feet. And then I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so she lets them go. One of them hits. The 23 hits. How do I do the damage for that? There we go. 1d10 plus 4. 1d4 plus 4.
Well, it's a crit, so it's 2d4 plus 4, right? And there's 2 crits.
No, somehow I copied the one from above, right? Or no, I guess it's 2 crits. You're right. I got 2 23s. They're different. Whatchamacallits. Yeah, so that dart takes care of this one. Then the other 23 does another 8, so it disappears as well. Since these are darts, they're not going to splash. They have tips. It's not like they're going to fly through and then hit somebody else. So yeah. So I get that 2 of those hit. And the 19 actually hits as well. So, and that's another 8. So she takes out the 3 closest here. And then Cyndia comes over to her and attempts to comfort her while Lurks is managing these darts. And Lurks is like, "Get off of me, Cyndia! Stop it!" And Cyndia just keeps like, there, it will be okay. There, it will be okay. And then the darts all come back and go back into Lurk's pouch after 3 of them hit and kill 3 of the flyers. And then Sylvian steps up and he says, "I shall endeavor to take as many of these fell creatures with me as I can." And then I fire my 4 Eldritch Blasts. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 hit. Well, nope, sorry, 3 of 4 hit. There we go. So that is 11, 5, and 15 damage. And so how many is that total?
41.
26, 41 damage. 6 will go into 41. 7 times almost. So 6 of these guys disappear. That's 5, 6. And then this guy takes the remaining damage. So a bunch of them get blasted out of the sky when Sylveon lets go. And I go to Cindy and Lurks. I go, "Are you all okay?" And Lurks yells back at me in Moilian, and neither of us can understand each other. So Mao, it is now your turn.
All right. So Mao wants to run over and attack the one next to Lombard. Let me go ahead
Awesome.
and pull that open. Give it 5 seconds.
Theme from Jeopardy.
Does it 26?
Yes, it does. Boy, does it.
Hold on 1 second. Let it roll for the damage. Always takes its sweet time. Oh boy.
Yeah, 26, and then so 19
Nice.
slashing damage. Yeah, so you chop into it, and it is gone. And I'll say that they're fluttering around enough that you actually clear both of them away. That because you do so much damage on that one that you time it just right, and it splashes both of them, and they fall away into two halves, and then the two halves sizzle into non-existence.
All right. And then for the second attack action, I'm going to pull out the longbow.
It's a real Legolas moment, right? You've just come over, you've slashed these things into non-existence, and you drop your great axe, and you're like, whoosh, and you got the bow, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, but the bow doesn't work.
And you miss. And it caroms off into the void. You notice as it flies away that one of the feathers was wrong.
Well, I'm just going to move a little bit closer to Lombard and end the turn there.
Just a little closer. Does the clay golem do anything?
Yes. The clay golem is going to move. It's going to dash, actually.
You have to describe the sound of a clay golem dashing. I see. I was gonna go with like it's wet clay, so it's like.
Ew. That's even grosser than mine.
Well, both together are really a terrible experience for everyone involved.
Yes, indeed.
If history is any guide for me. Moving on, the golem makes its way across with slapping noises and heavy breathing, and it starts to enter the fray. The negative fundamentals, though, are undeterred. They are out for blood. These negative fundamentals that are closest to the bridge close in. One moves in on Lurkst, because she ended the lives of his companions, hers, I don't know. They're negative energy. They're probably genderless. And so these guys then are going to move in. Actually, I want to measure that to make sure that they... This is the farthest guy away. Get to about there. Okay, yep. So... they are in and amongst Cyndia and Lurkst at the moment. I just need to spread them out. Because of course, Faerun and all D&D realms, everyone understands social distancing, and they space out exactly 5 feet everywhere they go. Now, they are going to attack. I have 1, 2, 3, 4... 5 that could attack Lurkst or Cyndia, it looks like. They're going to attempt to slam Cyndia, or ram, I guess is what it's called. Or not Cyndia, Lurkst, whose armor class I need to remember. Yeah, so that one hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 hits. Can I do that? Sure. Okay. So she takes 2 damage. That's 2 ones. There aren't 10 of them, so they don't do a team attack. Yet. And the other negative fundamentals are going to move in on Lombard and Mao. So 1, 2, 3 will attack Lombard, and 2 will attack Mao. So I'll start with Mao. Mao does a. Oh, I haven't done the damage for. She took. That can't be right. Minimum she would take would be 4.
I think it just rolled 2.
Yeah.
So she takes 5 total damage. And she notices that where they have attacked, the clothing is starting to like rot, like it's disintegrating. It's becoming weaker. Like she's brushing it off, and there's clearly patches of fabric now that are wearing away where they have hit her. Okay, so now we move on to the ones that are attacking over here, Lombard and Mao. We're going to have the 2 attack Mao first. Does a 26 hit? And a 19. Do those hit?
Yeah, they both do, yeah.
Okay.
I think that 26 was that team attack.
Oh, it was. You're right. So, you only take 4 damage. So you take 4 damage from these things, and they are very annoying. And you are noticing that they're sucking like the color out of spots on your clothing as well. So 3 of them are going to attack Lombard. 1 of them hits. For 5 damage, Lombard. And now it's
Ow!
Dr. Cox's turn. Yes, that is the appropriate response to 5 damage. Please indicate on the chart by smiley face the level of pain you are feeling. Dr. Cox.
I'm gonna vicious mockery the one with the green dot on it.
Oh, all right. So good old green dot here has to roll a 21, which is it a wisdom or what is he rolling? 19. Doesn't do it. Takes enough to kill it. It's gone. Bzzz.
Just deleted it from the initiative order.
Oh, I moved it to the GM layer. I didn't delete it. Did it remove it from the...
Yeah, when you move it to
Not-
the
not
GM
from
layer,
yours.
it just removes it from it removes it from our turn orders, just not yours.
All right. Well, anyway, I can... Hang on. I'll bring him back. And then I need to go to the correct layer and click. And so he goes wildly winging away like Darth Vader in Star Wars. After getting one wing clipped, he's like...
Suppose that means I have to yell, Yahoo!
That's right.
Alright, I think I'm done.
Go on, kid. You're all clear.
Let's blow this thing and go home.
All right. And I'm just... There we go. Dr. Cox, it's Serp's turn.
Okay. While Syrup loves to protect Mao, Mao can can handle all of that. So Syrup's gonna run over there to try and protect Lurks. And I'm gonna bite that one.
Okay.
But there we go, that one. Let me get the. I love my internet. It's perfect.
We'll hear Jay laughing about that comment in 5 minutes. From his.
I need the theme if it like copyrighted.
I just imagine him like in some tiny little unair conditioned hotel room, and it's got like one bare bulb in the lamp and it's flickering.
Okay, and does the 8?
The 8 does not hit.
Darn.
It's too high up in the air, but he makes a good effort. And like every good dog, he's trying to get up there.
What if he jumps a little higher and makes it to 15?
15 still. He barely, just under it, snatches his, it pulls away just as he closes his mouth on empty nothing.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, he tried. He's gonna sit there.
He absolutely did.
Yeah, he's gonna sit
He's just
there
going to
and
wag his tail now.
Yeah, wag his tail and look at Lurks. Alright.
Lombard, you have some company around you. What would you like to do about it?
I'm gonna speak a word of radiance.
Whew. Okay, so 15.
It's gonna be the 4 that are closest to me. It's only a 5-foot radius.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's unfortunate.
They their eyes were closed and they're like, "Do it again. We didn't see."
I cry a little bit and then I move on.
Well, you feel like as you let go of this radiant word, that these things are actually like dampening it. Like you feel like it's not having the same impact as it would, but they are really sort of like dampening all of the life force around you as well. You're starting to not feel well.
Gotcha.
Okay, so with that cheery note, Casimir, it's your turn. While Lombard contemplates existence.
Not happy about that.
So I started blasting.
Ooh, 12, 15, 18 to 25 hit. So 2 of them hit.
Yeah, beautiful.
Ooh.
Another 1.
I am assuming. All right, so 10 total force that you can distribute. That's enough to kill one of them and do 4 damage to another, or you could do 2 damage to all of them, or.
I'll kill the one like directly next to Lombard, like between me and him, and then I guess Splash will go to the one next to it.
Yep. So 4 damage to this guy. He's got one wing down, and he's on the ground, and he's sort of like clomping towards Lombard, using his one remaining wing as he desperately tries to claw on the ground towards Lombard.
Bite some ankles.
Exactly.
All right. Yep, that's everything from me.
Okay. All right. Now Lurkst is in the middle of a very large cloud of these things, and they're flapping around, and she's not very happy. It doesn't help that Cyndia is constantly trying to comfort her, and it's making her more and more upset. And so she is going to use her Moilian short sword now to take an attack on one of these things, and she does not do it. She swings and a miss, and she only gets 1 attack, but it is it's not successful. And Cyndia, meanwhile, is still clutching at her, trying to help Lurkst. But she sees one of these things close by, and she pulls out a scalpel, just a short scalpel, takes a swing at it, and Even though that says dagger, it's a scalpel, and she misses. And then she goes back to Lurks and tries to comfort her, but forgets that she has the scalpel, and Lurks takes 1 piercing damage because Cyndia mistakenly left the scalpel in her hand. And she's like, "Stop it! What are you doing?" All right, and then Sylvian tries to light him up with his Eldritch Blast and says, "Mon Dieu, there are many of these creatures. I do not like them at all." And so 19 hits, 24 hits, 30 hits, and 21 hits. So we've got 9 plus 7, 15 plus 8, 23 plus 12 is 35 damage. That's enough to take out 5 of them.
Pretty sure that's 36.
36, okay. That's enough to take out 6 of them. So I instantly clear all of them that are closest to Lurks, and I'm like, "You have got to be careful, my lady!" And again, she looks at me and yells at me in Moilian. I'm yelling at her in my terrible French accent. Neither of us understand each other, but she's clearly making rude gestures at me now, and I'm like, "Mon Dieu, what have I done? What did I say to this woman?" And Mao, it is your turn. The flock has thinned, but there are still some around you.
I think we already know what's about to happen.
I think we do.
I think we're gonna be aiming for some heads.
You're going to hold a dodge action. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Great Axe. Yeah,
I'm gonna go
that was
for
my
that
second
one.
guess.
Roll. Does a 24 hit?
Boom! Yes, it does.
Okay. 14 slashing damage at this boy here.
Yeah, so that's enough to take out this guy and the guy behind him. And you look at your blade, and you feel like the shine on it is not as bright as it used to be, and that is troubling.
Interesting.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go one more time. I'm gonna kind of go over to the other side of Lombard here, and I'm gonna take a slash at this guy.
Okay.
Let me throw it again. It's loading. There we go. Does a 32 hit?
Good lord, yeah, that'll do it. And 13 damage. So you were able to actually, with an impressive display, clear out these 3 guys right here. They all melt away into nothing. You do feel like if you had to kill too many more of these things, that you might actually damage your weapon. And so that's of concern to you. There is 1 left, 2 left that I can see. And so, Clay Golem, what are you up to?
Clay Golem's gonna move here and try and smash one of them.
Awesome.
It's actually gonna try twice if the first one doesn't hit.
Yeah, it hits. 22 hits.
For 15 bludgeoning.
15 bludgeoning is enough to send this thing careening off into the abyss. And because it's enough, let's just say that it hits the other one that's here, and they both collapse into the void. He just slaps it and knocks it into the other one here. And actually, it looks like there is only one left, right below Sylvian. Has a green dot.
Unfortunately, the Clay Golem is out of movement, so It's done.
This one flyer is extremely injured, and it moves up on Sylveon, and it takes its attack. It does a crit on Sylveon. And so that's 4d4 because it's double, right? So he takes 8 damage. And it ends its turn. It's your turn now. You see this thing like I'm like, mon Dieu, and I'm trying to stomp on it. But even stomping on it is, it causes injury to me. But by sucking away a little bit of my life, but it's not terrible. And that's enough. I mean, unless it saves, it does not, and it dies. Thank you.
Vicious mockery. I'm just gonna say, this combat is over.
Merci. Oh, those things are disgusting. How much damage did I take? Did I take?
That went to your temporary hit points, though, right?
Probably. I just need to see how many I took. 8. I said 8. Yep. There we go. All good. Well, we're coming up on 10 o'clock. Do we want to take a break right now, or what would you like to do?
We could do like one long one since we're right at the 50% mark. Maybe do like a 15-minute, come back. It's the 55th minute, come back at the 10th of the next.
Sounds good.
All right. Take us out,
Well,
DM.
They have crossed the void. They have encountered the negative fundamentals. They have mastered the negative fundamentals, and they are now ready to enter the Tower of Portals, where they can make their way to the hub. Anyway, that's what we're about to do. We'll be back in 15 minutes, which by my clock is what?
11.
Yeah, 11 after the hour.
See you soon, everybody.
So, I'm the new DM. Thought I'd step in, see how you guys are doing. I just like being a panda. All right, hang on. Let me go back to making people having to deal with me. There we go. So the current state of the party is that we are on the bridge, about to enter the Tower of Portals, and so I assume that we're just going to go into the tower, or are you going to check it out first, or what's the plan? Oh look, I missed a fire. Well, I'm going to say it did. It died.
Casimir in first? Do we?
Let me.
I mean, we've been there a bunch of times. I don't think it should be a problem.
Yeah, I think we just kind of go in there.
Yeah,
Like, we
All
own the
right.
place at this point.
we kind of
So we
do.
go into the Tower of Portals, and in doing so, we find that it's unchanged. I checked earlier, and we're basically where it was before. So, if you recall, one goes into an empty void, life-sucking void down here. This one, I believe, took us over to the Tower of Health. This one had the 3 sigils. One that said, I could actually open this up and look at what it says.
One says periphery, one says hub.
One says periphery, one says hub. Periphery is very, very dangerous and
Yes.
sends you out into nothingness. Hub, however, takes you to a tower of interest. And so I assume that the plan is that we're going to do what we've done before to get there. And so in doing so, we go to... again, it's that weird map that's the handout, which is the square-ish tower. And that is... Where did I put it?
Tower of Black Ice under maps. 16.
Tower of Black Ice under maps. Right. And so, when you go to the Tower of Black Ice, you notice that there are only 2 indestructible portcullises.
All
That
right.
apparently the answer to the riddle was, in fact, rope, and that in touching the other sigils, you started to destroy the web, one might conclude. So, that is one successful removal of an indestructible portcullis. Round of applause. I mean, come on. You guys did very well, yeah. So you're at the at 16.7 there. You're sort of, where it is looking in there. I can open up the description of that. I just have to find it again. Yes, a 30 by 30 foot landing juts over the rolling black mist from the vast plain of ice constituting the eastern wall of this huge chamber. Flush with the ice face of the wall are a set of glowing red bars, or were a set of glowing red bars, sealing off a 20 foot by 20 foot square opening. Behind these bars are a horizontal set of green glowing bars, and behind these can be made out a final set of coldly glowing blue bars running vertically. In spite of all this light, shadows pool thickly in the void beyond.
So which one of those sets of bars is missing?
The red ones. Unless that's wrong and I find out later and I'll change it. But I believe it's the red ones. You've eliminated one of the 3. Above the bars, a message has been inscribed into the ice, and suddenly you spy movement as of 2 wings, a horse-like back, and 2 black tentacles. And it says, to remind you, when the bars fall away, the flyer stands revealed. It can bring you my way. by the route once concealed. And you're not sure who is talking or what they mean.
Pretty sure that we saw that flying thing that looked like a worm with horse legs or something.
Yes, that's right. There's actually an illustration for that, I believe. I don't remember which one it is. Nope. Nope. There it is. This little guy.
Number 43, isn't it?
Yeah, he's such a cute little guy. No, it's number 40. You should be able to see it.
That doesn't have any wings, does it?
Well, they're folded. You can't see it. I think that no, maybe that's the Darkweaver. I can't remember. Hang on.
The you
Which
showed
one
us
did you
last
think
time
it was?
Number 43.
43. Let's see what's number 43. Oh, there he is. Yeah, it's this little guy. Yeah, number 43. Yeah, he's got some hay over in a corner, and you hear he's munching on it loudly. He looks back over at the door, clocks you guys, goes back to eating.
Mm.
Alright, so the clues that we had were
From the original riddle, right?
Dilemma of Problems 3, beard the brine dragon in its frozen hollow, remove the key, avoid its starved swallow. I think we did that, but we haven't figured out
Yep.
what to do with the key as of yet.
Nope.
Beneath webs of glowing emerald hangs a riddle box ripe to be solved. I think that's the one we just solved.
Yep.
And then the Darkweaver endures the cold in her lair, grasp your fate with consummate care. We haven't faced this Darkweaver thing as of yet, I don't think.
No, we have not.
And then the lifeless dream that marks the crime is the vestige that guards the sands of time. I don't know if that has anything to do with the key or not, but
And that one doesn't. Well, you don't know what it refers to, but it has. You have not encountered anything that you would feel you would call that.
so we've still not found some things.
Yep. And so, if we look at our handy guide to the city of Moil, be sure to tip the author. He's a friend of mine. You are at the moment in number 4, which is the Tower of Portals.
Aren't we in 16?
So, oh, I'm sorry. Yes, 16. Correct.
But the only other exit from 16 is up on that drawbridge or whatever above us, right? So we can't just take that to get out, can we?
Correct. The portcullis has these blocking, and you're not able to go further up. Like, you get to the entrance, and you see these portcullises, and you could see other entrances above you, but you can't get to them.
Alright, have we been to number 15? Or number 11? And
Number
or number 11, I guess.
15. Ooh, I actually have to look up number 15. That's unfortunate. I thought I had that one in there. Yeah, so number 11, though, you have not investigated. So, looks like the bridge that, that we've seen before. So if you'd like to go investigate number 11, you can do that. Let me quickly look up what number 15 is going to be.
11 isn't that tower there? Is So there's like a bridge that connects 3,
Yeah, it's
8, and 14, right?
so 11 is the span that connects to 15, and so I guess tower number 11. It has a span that connects to number 15. It has a span that connects to number 14. So again, let me switch us to our reference map because this is this was created by a crazy person. We are talking about number 11, which is right here. You can get to. Number 15 is out here. I've got to get to the right spot though. Okay. So that is number what? So you said 11, and what was the other one? 15.
Yeah. That's the one at the end, past 11.
Yes. Okay. There it is. This is a giant module. There's a lot to look through. Okay. Number 15 is you're not sure what it is.
Burger King foot lettuce. Not what you would expect to find in your Burger King burger. But
I'm
it just
so
might be what you
happy
get.
someone else thought that, and that it wasn't just me.
So which would you like to go to? Would you like to hit Tower 11 and then go to 15, or what would you like to do?
Well, let's investigate Tower 11 first, shall we?
I'm done with
Yes.
that plane.
So Tower 11 is... Let me get to the description. Right. So you get to tower number 11, and it just has a spiral staircase that goes from the bottom entrance, which would be down here, to the top entrance. And then you can cross it, but there's nothing in there. It's an empty tower. It looks like its only purpose is to connect these two spans like some sort of node. You can't see the bottom. It still disappears into the abyss. But you can see the top, and there doesn't appear to be anything in there. It's just a spiral staircase that goes up the tower to the next span. And that span connects you to number 15.
Investigate the foot lettuce.
Is It is kind of what it looks like. Right. So I need everyone to give me a dexterity check for crossing the bridge, which I'm assuming we're doing at this point.
What if you're on a creature that has a climb speed?
Then that creature can roll the dexterity check with advantage.
Usually straight dexterity.
Yeah, just straight dexterity.
16.
I gotta reload this.
That'll do
It's
it.
glitching a little bit.
So what are we looking at? Let me switch over to chat. So I got 10. That was enough. The dog puts me to shame.
Ninja Man
Ooh.
got 19.
Ninja Meow's got 19. So Mao, as you're walking forward, you step onto a weakened part of the span, and it collapses. So I need you to make either an athletics or an acrobatics saving throw to see if you're able to catch the edge. And one of you will say is close enough to help her. So roll with advantage. Yeah, 20. Yeah, you don't even need to. 20 is going to do it. So you like, that's more than enough. You catch the edge and you like kip up and move on to the other side, and you go, careful, the bridge is weak right there. And everyone's like, what the hell just happened? But we otherwise make it across. And so that takes us into number 15, tower number 15. So the bridge leads south into a 20-foot wide arch for this tower of gray stone and metal and lettuce. The lintel of the arch is inscribed with a half moon of inlaid silver with a sprinkling of stars picked out with small gemstone flecks. Although a layer of frost covering the carving makes it difficult to see clearly, it's a very well put together mosaic. Beyond the arch, darkness and silence prevail.
Well, darkness and silence. Do we want to sneak in?
Yeah, so the problem I have here is that this map somehow didn't get uploaded, and it's not in my thing. So give me a second to quickly whip something up for this. Does it not have a map? Is that why? Because a lot of these things they don't have a Oh no, I should have a map for this. I do. All right, so you have now. We're going to go to this tower that has the moon and stars on it. You can't see very much yet. Because I haven't revealed anything yet. Hang on. So if we could all put our tokens up at the top there, we are in a new space. Where'd where's Sylvian? Search apparently doesn't work.
It's at the very bottom under characters.
Yep. All right, we got Sylvian coming out. And then we've got I need to put lurks out. Do we still have Lurks in chat? We should ask Lurks what Lurks does.
That's an affirmative.
Hey, Lurks. I cannot believe I hit back and I now have to restart Roll20. I wish I had a joke prepared for this. All I have is a guy walks into a doctor's office with a duck on his head, and the doctor says, "Can I help you?" And the guy says, "Yeah, can you get this guy off my butt?" Rim shot, tish. All right, everyone, if you could organize yourself into your marching order, I think we are good to go. I just didn't get any of the text for this in, which is unfortunate, but you'll just have to see the side of my head as I look over and read it. Yeah. All right. So we've walked into this tower, and you see in front of you a hallway. There's some doors on either side, and not much else at the moment. Thoughts?
Since I'm standing right here next to Mao,
Yes.
I'm gonna do this. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
There.
I thought, oh yeah, you are an able physician. Nice. Look at that. You got a med kit.
That's
Mal,
affirmative.
give yourself 23 additional hit points of healing to take the edge off that pain. Syrup notices your wounds also and is licking you, trying to keep you calm and happy and trying to be as helpful as he can. All right, so we're all kind of standing here in the hallway, and we've stepped through, I assume, into the darkness beyond, and this is kind of what we see.
Hey. Casimir, do you hear anything, or do we just start kicking doors open again?
I mean, I don't hear anything. Do you hear anything?
Does my passive perception 17 hear anything?
No, in fact, it's very quiet. Like, you
Oh,
hear
quiet.
nothing. Well, I mean, yes, in a very cliche, too quiet kind of way. No, it's just very quiet.
All right. Well, I guess this looks like it's probably a push door, so I'm gonna push this door open.
Yes. You push the door open and you see beyond. How do you spell Tiamat? T-I...
Could you imagine? Oh shit! Sorry, wrong door. I'll close it.
She's like, this is my vacation spot away from Avernus.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, roll deception check, and you get a 20. I'm like, she buys it, doesn't come out. And you see that there are wads of towels and laundry baskets in here, but not much else. The towels are, of course, rotted. Some appear to have been folded. Others appear to have been piled, and others appear to be in various states of mold and decay in vats of some kind where washing has been done. And the vats are kind of down here in this end of the area. they're dry. They're but you can see like the remains and the outlines of rotting pieces of towel collected there, and they're just piles of detritus in here. This appears to be not that you're an expert in Moilian architecture, but you're getting a feel for the place. Appears to be a laundry.
Oh, it's a laundromat. Oh, these places make a lot of money.
Is this like an interstitial laundromat of indeterminate use?
Well, if it's a laundromat, it doesn't have an indeterminate use, but it may be an interstitial laundromat.
Have you encountered in real life laundromats that are worth investigating?
Listen, there's a few
Sometimes
down the
you
road.
have to
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with laundromats. I'm just saying, and maybe if you've met your life partner at a laundromat, then that's good for you. But every time I've been to a laundromat, there's nothing there that's worth looking at. So, and that's the case here. This is not the laundromat where you would encounter the love of your life and find your soulmate. It is just a old, rundown, post-apocalyptic laundromat.
Well, Larch,
you
if
do find
ever,
you do find a large number of different smaller denominations of Moilian coins, but
oh, okay.
they might be interesting to you from just like a collector perspective because it's like
Yeah,
it looks like it might be a laundromat. Yeah,
I might take a couple just for the sake of collection.
yeah. I mean, the number of people that have been to Moil is more than have been to the moon, but it's still a pretty exclusive club.
I don't even know what the moon is.
Saloon's Tears, that big thing in the night sky. Come on.
I don't think it's real. Sorry.
Oh, now we're into it. We got 5e conspiracy theories.
You find out the Goldstein is QAnon. Anyways.
Goldstein. No, I'm not even going to go there.
I'm going to go ahead and push this door open.
Yeah, that would not. That's not anywhere. Yes. So this door, you see something quite a bit more interesting. I'll read it to you in a second. It's just got there's more of a reveal going on here. Come on, do the thing with the thing. The thing. There we go. Thing. And got a little bit more going on here. Right. So this room has this very large room has one wide aperture on the wall, allowing the strobing light of the outer city to illuminate what look to be abandoned barracks. Beds consisting of a wooden frame, a thick mattress, and woolen blankets are arranged in orderly rows down the curve of this chamber. The series of closed metallic cupboards are attached to the inner wall, each showing various symbols beneath a layer of frost that covers everything. And so you notice that these beds, the sheets are perfect. They're not rotting, which is odd.
Interesting.
I'll just throw myself onto one of these clean beds and see if the sheets are as good as they seem.
Sure. Yeah, you lay down on the bed and you hear as a freshness spell releases and the bed linens collapse into decay as they rapidly age to where they are now.
Oh.
Right. After jumping on, I'm going to roll right off.
Yep. You got dust all over it and you're like... but apparently they... Like we have Sani strips on toilets. I don't even know if they still do that, but they used to.
Talking about. Yeah.
And so this is like a freshness strip for these beds.
Okay.
But apparently, when you pop the seal, it catches up to real time rapidly.
Yes, man. I don't think housekeeping's been in for a while. I'm going to be honest with you.
And
they do seem to be
Lurks is looking around with
Very true.
some wonder. She's sort of she touches one of the beds also, and it disappears into dust, and she sighs because it's so metaphorical for her life.
Utilizing Mal to translate where and when needed, I'm gonna try to ask Lurks if she knows what this place was.
She does. She says, "This is the Lethargatorium," is how she says it. It's the Lethargatorium. And
Okay. Is that
this,
like a hotel?
this is where we would go for dream therapy.
For dream therapy. This
Yes, it's
sounds
very
more and more
important.
dystopian the more that I hear about it.
Well, I mean, even in my time, the nightmares would sometimes be completely out of control. And so we would often go for dream therapy. I can
What does
only
that
guess
entail?
that it's because Orcus was real and nobody knew that. But yeah, I mean, you'd come in to if you could afford it. Places like this were expensive, and she pops another one of the. It looks like really nice linens, but she pops another spell and it turns into dust. And she says this is kind of like a spa, I guess. Like you'd come in to relax. Where sunlight is important to Moilians, and so the light from this big window over here would come in, and it was important to get the right lighting, to have the proper dreams, and they would be placed. You could be placed into slumber and have a custom dream, if you will. I gotta find to put her onto the map here, but keep going. Yes.
And so it forces you to have good dreams.
Well, you could ask for whatever kind of dream you wanted. I would assume most people wanted good dreams.
They could just make dreams happen. You could just tell them exactly what you want to happen, and they just do it.
Well, I mean, it wasn't quite that accurate when I heard about it. I mean, this is really expensive, but you could take a dream therapy, and they could smooth out your nightmares so that you didn't have the same problems. You could request a sort of kind of experience, but you wouldn't necessarily know what it would be like because your brain would be doing all the work. It's just, so it varied from client to client. You couldn't customize it perfectly, but it's, if I were to characterize it using a song lyric from a song that I don't know, from a world I don't know, I'd say, sometimes you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you find you get what you need, and that's what dream therapy was sort of about.
I see. It's not trying to like teach you that thunder only happens when it's raining and players only love you when they're playing.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, you got to know when to hold them.
I see.
Got to know when to fold them.
I see.
It's important to understand when it's time to walk away and when it's time to run or dash in 5e.
Yeah, as you two are talking, Casimir takes out his rapier and just starts popping all of them, just running past them all.
And they make a very satisfying noise because as you're running by, each one is like pop, and they just collapse. Pop,
It's like
and so
a combination of bubble wrap and dandelions.
it's like popping sand castles that are made of bubbles or something, and they just evaporate into the
that sounds like a surreal meme.
Yeah, it's a very Salvador Dali type room. So
interesting. I'd like to just start touching every single one of these beds because it's entertaining to do so.
Yeah, so they are definitely beds. You note that Lurks is fairly tall. I mean, she's about 6'1", not compared to you, the barbarian, but the beds are a little bit larger than you'd probably see in an inn. So you assume that the people of Moil were tall. Like, if Lurks was normal, then this is like being in the Netherlands.
I'm just touching on the pop-up.
Oh, yeah. No, they just pop.
Yeah, I'm just popping them. Yeah, I'm just having fun.
I thought you wanted me to describe what the beds were like.
Oh
And
no
so
no
I,
no!
I apologize
I
for.
heard they pop and that it's fun, so I started popping.
It's 30
Anyways, I
seconds. None of
started
us are going to
popping.
see again. Yeah. So anyway, here we are in slash R poppin', and
r/popping. Yeah, that's Wacky Wednesday. We can post
yeah,
this
what? Don't Google while you're eating.
or do if you're brave. I guess I'll push this door open unless
Yep.
Casimir had other plans.
Yeah. What are you doing, Casimir?
Just looking, making sure nothing's approaching from ahead.
Nothing that you can tell is approaching from behind. From Freudian slip. No, from ahead.
Alright, alright.
That was an absolute accident, but I'm gonna pretend like I planned it. There we go. So the rooms are like the others. Nothing of particular interest.
So this is a wall?
Nope. This is Sorry. There you go. You got some more doors to explore down here.
Alright, well, after you.
So the stuff I've exposed, I'll say you've explored and you didn't find anything else. So which door would you like to open next? There are three. Let's say you've opened this one, and discovered that they are not interesting rooms. And so there are these three doors here: this one, and this one. Did I see you click here?
I think we should hit this one next.
Okay. Is that what we
Sure,
do?
why not?
It is what we do.
Sylvian comes over with the group. And then I got to do a reveal. I'm getting better at this part, at least. Right. So, come on, Sylvian. Welcome to the party, pal. And Lurkst is coming. Oh, I got to put Cyndia out. I didn't bring out Cyndia. Cyndia scuttles along, but she continues to bother Lurkst. Can I help you? Are you in need of assistance, Citizen Lurkst? And Lurkst is still pretty shaken up, and she's just, getting depressed that her whole world literally is destroyed. But so you're standing outside the door. Casimir goes in to the room, and you see this is where there are. I need you to see if you can pick the lock. We haven't had to do that for a while. I forgot about that part. So yeah. And there's also something written on the door.
Oh,
He's picking the lock. I'll read it.
Okay. While you read it, you sound it out, and you're like, and you look over at Lurkst, and she frustrated is like, yes. It says Lucetafin stores. And you were close. You got it, but she's frustrated with everything. It's been a day.
so 35.
Yeah, that does
They're
it.
gonna cut it.
Not only you're able to remove the lock and pocket it with that score. You're like, this lock is of interest, so just put a Moilian lock in there, for your thing. And it's of a design you've not seen before, but that is such a great score that you could even have the lock if you want. 35.
I'm making plans for retirement. I'm like, okay, if I can find enough interesting things in Moil, lost technology, so when I get back to the mainland, they can perhaps, start selling these as more secure locks. Made by a master pick himself.
So you walk into this room, and you see that there are uh, large crates against the wall, and there are glass vials that have smashed and are spilling out onto the floor, and there's splinters all over the floor from the glass, and the liquid has evaporated from the broken ones. But there's still some vials that you can see that may have liquid in them. And you get from what Lurk says that this must be called lucidophine.
Hey, Lurks, what did you mention before, this lucidophine? What is that?
It's a sleeping aid. It's a super expensive sleeping aid that they use when they're doing the therapy because it puts you into an incredibly deep sleep.
Is that so? And, do you know
It
just how
let
to
the
make this?
Megans sort of manipulate your dreaming and your. They could psychically, tune their instruments to the point where they could manipulate the direction, not the content, but the feelings that you might feel and the directions that you would feel. But lucidophine would put you in such a deep slumber that you'd be able to do that. It's super addictive. I would not recommend using it.
Super addictive, you say? Now, would you perhaps know?
Cyndia sees you. I assume you're holding one of these, and Cyndia sees one as you're sort of investigating it in the light, and you're like, "Oh, super addictive." And she says, "Citizen Casimir, please put that down. It is very dangerous. Please put that down. You do not need to sleep. May I tell you a story? That is far safer." And she begins to tell you a
Okay.
Moilian story.
Wait. How about you tell me the recipe for this, the lucidophine, you say?
She begins to spout off all kinds of chemicals, and she says, "It is 7-4-5-4-lo-necamine," and she just continues saying things in a nomenclature that you are completely, you have no idea what she's saying. She's describing at a molecular level what it's made of, and that's not something that you're an expert at.
But while she's doing that, I'm just pocketing as many as I can without her noticing.
It's a very long formula, and then she finishes, and she says, "And you can see with that combination, it is extremely dangerous."
Oh yes, I do see that now. Oh, thank you very much. How
She does
many
not
would I
have-
manage to pocket?
I'm assuming that it takes her probably around 6 seconds. So give me, you have two hands, give me 2d6.
2d6. All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you pocket 10, and you are able to do so without jingling. So it looks kind of weird. You're sort of like doing a little bit of a dance, but every time you move, you're able to mask one disappearing into the folds of your armor and clothing, and she is none the wiser.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Let's see. So, description: addictive Moilian drugs.
Yes.
Cynthia, maybe you
Neato.
could use some of that to subdue some of the hostile creatures that attack us.
She looks at the vials and she says, "I do not have an applicator that would let me do this at range.
Can't you just throw it at them?
It needs to be injected for it to be effective."
Is there an applicator nearby?
Good question. Give me an investigation check with advantage and your crazy investigation skills. It's going to be high because it's been 1,000 years. Yeah, you don't
Wait,
find
you said
one.
with advantage. Hold on.
Yes, with advantage.
How about a
Yeah.
34?
I was
On
going to say
nat
30
20.
or above. was going to do it, and that'll do it. So you do find an applicator. It appears to be like an air-fired applicator, kind of like the original Star Trek. And so you'd load up a cartridge, and it lets you walk up, and inject somebody with it, I suppose. So she says, "I agree. This may be effective," and she takes. I'll do the same 2d6. She takes 6 vials, and she says, 6 is more than sufficient. It would kill all of us. It would kill all of you and then some if you were to receive these.
Perfect.
That is good to know.
I want to point out, I now
then-
have to figure out the mechanics for this stuff, so don't go like using it right away.
It's also because of the sleight of hand. I would assume we probably didn't see it either. So we just like, well, I guess it's a good thing Casper decided not to take any of this.
Yes,
No, that's pretty cool.
Terrible.
I like the idea of having it and Cynthia being able to use it, so that's clever. So you guys raid the stores of drugs and make off like cartel bandits. Let me see what else is in there. By the way, they are luminescent and glow faintly red, and there is a line on the glass vial that shows. You would assume what the volume indicator should be. And you notice that they're all different heights relative to that. So it's not clear if you've got like concentrated doses or if you've got weakened doses. You don't know what's going on with these things yet. But she has them, so if they're as strong as Lurks and Cynthia think they are, then they might be useful. And so we'll try that.
So, Cynthia, what would happen if one were to just ingest it as opposed to, mainline it?
That would be ill-advised. You would probably have a 50% chance of being able to control your dream, which, if you are in the presence of a guided, dream therapist, would be able to guide you towards, therapeutic session. But given the state of these drugs, there is also a chance of permanent madness. And she says, "Would you
Really?
like for me to give you a dose?" And she approaches you and starts to hold it towards your neck.
Very funny. No, I'm good, thank you.
She continues to approach you with it.
I will warn you, if you continue to advance on me, something bad is going to happen.
The clay golem's
So not
gonna
me.
grab her.
And she says, "Very well, I will wait here." And she administers one of her 6 shots to the clay golem.
The clay golem is gonna take the injector from her.
So she's going to then hold one of the vials in her hand and say, "I need the injector, please."
I think I'm just gonna take the injector from the clay golem and then go and grab a bunch of vials and then walk away along the wall.
All right. Give me 2d6, since I have no idea how powerful these things are going to be. You find 3 intact that seem full-ish.
I'm gonna ask Cynthia to hand over hers to the golem.
She says, "Yes, clearly the first dose was not effective," and she starts to push the doses into the clay of the golem in various anatomically important points that she would be aware of. And then she stops to look at her work, and so the golem just has these clay vials stuck like in various points on its chest. So there's 5 stuck into the golem.
I'll just pick them out. Keeping my
She
eye
says-
on Cynthia.
"Be very careful, citizen Dr. Cox. Dr. Citizen Cox. Citizen
From now on, please
Citizen,
don't try to inject our party with anything
Doctor,
without
citizen.
our express permission and recommendation, okay?
Doctor, permission, understood. And she quietly walks back to Lurks and begins like smoothing her hair because Lurks is very frazzled still and is very annoyed at Cynthia and starts to push her away. Stop it! Please! Cynthia, I know as a Medron you are just doing your job. Please! And Cynthia says, as you command, Citizen Lurks, I will obey. And she backs off and begins to pet Syrup and tries to give Syrup a good berry lollipop.
We didn't finish that Moilian alcohol, did we?
No, you still have some.
Lurks, I can tell you probably need this. Go on, take a hit.
Oh, nice. Lurks looks at it and her eyes go wide. And she says, do you have any idea what this is?
You did tell me before. You told us, yes. And I
Yes,
think we should
and-
have another sip.
And she chugs it, and she wipes her mouth with the back. She does a pirate, chug, wipes her mouth, and she waits for a second, and then shivers, and goes, "Ugh," and hands it back to you and says, "Orcus, that's good."
You drink like an old friend of mine, like a fish.
You're a good friend, Casimir. She's saying this in Moilian, but you can't. But you get the gist.
I hear the kind of tone. I'm like, yes, that is me.
And she laughs and she claps you on the back a little bit too hard, because she's pretty tall, and she she like gathers Mao and Sylveon together, and she's laughing and talking in Moilian and broken Orcish, and she's like, "We're at the goddamn end of the world. Do you know that? We are at the goddamn end of the world." And she just laughs, and it starts to sound manic now that you can understand what she's saying from Mao's translation.
All right, well, that was maybe good, but maybe we should go through this door. See if there's any.
All right.
Nice.
Oh, this one could be push or pull.
This one is going to be pull.
Oh my god. I'm gonna pull it. It's very exciting. I love change.
The pure joy of how you feel about opening doors is felt as you open this door. And you see that this whole area is cracked and broken away. That, in fact, it opens up into like the area below, and you realize that you are actually on the top part of the tower that the strange. No, not. I'm sorry. I was about to make a mistake. Never mind. You see this. The floor has given away below, and so let me read you this description so that I don't mess it up. That is this number. This platform of stone juts out over the black abyss below, attached to the tower's central support column only on its northern end. So if I reveal the rest of this floor... I like the reveal and I don't like the reveal. So, this platform of stone juts out over the black abyss below, attached to the tower's central support column only on its northern end. The extensive edges of the shattered chamber above are picked out by flickering light, but below the jagged edge there is only chill darkness. The platform is traced with various decorative inlays of red stone surrounding a 3-foot-tall stone dais. I sound like a real estate agent, or like the end of the old Wheel of Fortune. The The platform is traced with various decorative inlays of redstone surrounding a 3-foot-tall stone dais. Securely fastened to the stone dais is an hourglass filled with blue sand. A message is engraved into the stone next to the hourglass in the same redstone as decorates the platform itself. I have an illustration to show you
Where's
so
this
that you
platform?
might... Good question. Let me look at the illustration first. Or let me show you the illustration. That may explain it better.
So, Lombard, can you still fly?
I feel like 10 minutes is probably past. And I did decide to land actually after getting struck by lightning, so I would probably have to activate it again. I've still got plenty of slots that I have available.
Yep.
Good, good. In that case, you should go first.
Okay.
So, okay, so there's a window at the bottom. I'm assuming that this platform is here down at the bottom. I say that because I'm looking at the module here, and that's kind of... It's hard to see because I didn't reveal it. That's why.
So about this floor, does it look like it's holding together well, or like it's really not?
It's not, but you can't tell how extensive it is. Clearly, it all hasn't fallen into the abyss. I put the circle down where I'm going to say that dais is, with the hourglass of blue sand and the note.
Well, I've walked out here. Am I good? Am I okay so far?
Yeah, you're fine. You can get close. You see that it is just down into the abyss.
Okay. I'm not going to take any time to really try to take a peek over the edge, because I don't want to acquire vertigo. That would be unfortunate. And I'm going to make my way over to the dais.
Okay.
And I'm going to stand... I'm going to stay 10 feet away from it, and I'm going to just look at it real good for a second before I get any closer.
Let me describe the floor for you so that you know what you're dealing with here. This massive chamber is dimly but erratically lit through a wide opening in the wall to the south. Some destructive force has smashed a rough hole in its stone floor. Cracked, splintered edges of the hole trace a chasm more than 100 feet wide from east to west, and perhaps half that north to south. The chasm lays bare the massive support column of iron and stone occupying the center of the tower. Your eyes... Did you just check? I'm reading over here, and did somebody just measure to make sure I got it right? Did I get it right?
I won't say who it was.
I just saw the line, and I'm like, Mother...
Snitches get stitches, y'all!
Mother Fletcher! You're checking to make sure it's really 100 feet across. All right.
I'm just trying to go along with the illustration, man. Jeez.
Yeah, all right.
Narrating this thing.
No, okay. And 12 mind flayers fly up from the... No. Your eyes are drawn to to trace the line of the wide column down into the lightless shell of the lower tower. Truly a Stygian plunge, until darkness swallows its lower extent completely. Revealed through the shattered remains of the floor is a small circular platform 30 feet below the level of the rest of this chamber, attached to the side of the support column. The light is insufficient to provide positive identification to the dim objects just visible on this platform.
Okay.
I should also note that, like the web area, this area is starting to feel a little bit colder. And it's already bitingly cold.
I do currently have True Sight.
Yep.
You
So,
and me both.
what do we see?
You see objects that appear to be obscured by some kind of mist curling around them. You're not sure what you see.
Okay, so the True Sight doesn't cut through this mist.
It does. It does not.
Interesting.
They don't appear to be anything interesting, though. They're not. It's not like a shape of a ornate treasure chest or a suit of armor standing there. It's just
And-
lumps of junk like you've seen, around.
But what makes this junk worthy of being put on a platform?
Well, that's a good question. It might have something to do with this hourglass that you're standing 10 feet away from.
Yeah, is there anything? Is there like an
There's a
inscription on the
note.
hourglass or anything? Is there any words written on it? Anything other than the fact that it's just an hourglass?
Yeah, so it's written in common again, which is
Oh.
a note. It says, when the sands run out, bring the glass about. And the frame of the hourglass is affixed to the stone of the dais by a thick rod sunk into the stone. The glass can be swung end over end, after which a click is heard, and the glass, so if you do that, that's what you hear. So you can flip it over, it'll click, and the sand will run out. Or you could leave it.
When the sand runs out,
The message
bring
says,
the glass?
when the sand runs out, bring the glass about.
Bring
Do
the
it.
glass about.
I bring the glass about.
What glass?
Talk about the
Well,
hourglass.
hourglass.
And turning it over.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's just saying to turn it over when the sand runs out.
Yep. So the sand is right
Okay,
now
I
on the
thought they wanted
bottom.
us to bring it something before the sand.
Oh,
ran
no.
out or something.
So the
Okay.
sand's in the bottom, like it shows in
thinking
the illustration. It's on a pivot, thing. You can turn it, and by doing so, it starts the hourglass.
Okay, Casimir said you did it, right?
Wait. Before we turn this over, everybody remember the thing we saw in the monolith when we got here? The lifeless dream that marks the crime is the vestige that guards the sands of time.
Ah, yes, I do remember.
I think
This
somehow
is,
it's going to make another hole.
I hope not.
Yes. Something quite large made this hole.
I'm thinking that if we turn that thing and we let the sand finish its thing, that whatever made this hole is going to come back and try again.
Potentially. Or you could just take a short rest.
I see.
It is quite tempting, though, just sitting there with all that sand at the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, I do
so-
like watching an hourglass do its thing. It is tempting just
We're
to
probably
just to
going
do
have
it.
to turn it over, but
After about a minute, you notice that 1/60th of the sand has flowed out.
can we turn the hourglass so that it's like sideways, so the what do you call it? So the sand doesn't fall to the
It
bottom.
never runs out.
Nope. That click has locked it into place, and so the sand is just running down.
Can
Also,
I investigate this mechanism and try rig it?
sure. Yeah. And that investigation is a 34. You are certain that it is locked in place for the duration.
I didn't roll any investigation.
Hmm.
Oh, I thought you did. There's
Yeah,
an
that was
investigation
from
in chat.
before.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was from
all right.
earlier.
Well, anyway. So it was so good before that nat 20 that you know a little
You
something
carried
something about
over.
Moilian technology now. So, yeah, it's,
This
so
is
it's just-
Moilian technology.
Well, I mean, it's
Azarac
an hourglass.
technology.
Well, you don't know. You assume because it was written in common that it's probably Azaracian, but it is like all hourglasses. It appears to be just blue sand running down to the bottom, and you notice that the moisture, what little moisture there is in the air, begins to sort of drift down because the temperature has dropped, and little rills of fog are starting to curl around.
Maybe we should take a short rest.
Okay.
Build a bonfire.
Where do you guys want to take your short rest?
I think we should take it in a room with only one door.
That doesn't... Oh, the laundromat.
Yeah. The laundromat has only one door. The
sleep chamber.
Lucidifin, the Lucidifin storage room also only has one door.
Or the one with all the beds.
And the lethargy.
The one with all the beds.
All right. Well, if we're just going to leave this for a while, then sure.
Okay. So, didn't mean to do that. Trying to draw around Sylveon. There we go.
Oh.
So we're all in the laundry.
The place with all the beds.
Oh yeah, well we could go where the beds are.
The smell.
We could lay down on the beds. Yeah, absolutely. If we wanted to.
Molded to shit. Turned to dust. Or we could play with the clean laundry.
So
that's not clean laundry.
No, it's not.
Give me a second here. So okay. Yeah, so this is I assume we're taking a 1 hour rest. Since that's the short rest, right? We're not doing a long rest.
Correct.
Let me do a quick roll. Also, I need to check something. GMROLL. Yep, okay. We get to about 45 minutes in, and we notice that the air is really cold, and that smoke is starting to curl under the door. That is moisture that has condensed into fog, and so we're going to need to go into initiative because we're about to meet one of the other big bads of this particular little demi-plane of existence. A little thing known as...
Heal yourself for 23.
A little thing known as the Vestige. And yes, that's the correct size. Although, why can't I pick him up?
Because you put him on the map layer, maybe?
No, I got it. There we go. So this is the Vestige. It is... I had to put a character type, of what it is, what monster type it is, and I put murderous sentient fog. So that's what we're dealing with here.
Hold out to it.
Let me go ahead and put Sylveon in the initiative, and I will do the same then for Lurkst and Cyndia.
What size class is size classes above Colossal?
Gigantic.
What size? So it's supposed to be.
Colossal.
So you can look at the character sheet if you want to see what it is. I think it's huge or colossal. I can't remember.
Colossal 6x6.
6x6. So it's too big. That's fine. But it's smoke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me see what I put down for size because I just copied it from the. It didn't put a size. We'll say it's colossal 6x6 then, right? So it's too big. We'll make it 6x6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That right?
Looks
Here,
right.
easier to see if I do it this way. Yeah, okay, we're good. Yeah. So at first it was spread out, but now it's concentrated itself into a more dangerous form. And so you hear sounds of dissonant whispers, what you now know is Moilian from hearing Lurks, and Cyndia talking in it. You hear, just all sorts of really strange noises and crunches and sounds of things that you don't want to know what they are. Outside the door. And let me get Cyndia into the rotation. Do the old sort. I don't know why her name is that in... That's Cyndia with 18. I don't know why it gave her that name, but whatever. And she's unaware of it. She can't feel fear necessarily. And so she looks around and says, citizens, you all seem very alarmed. What is going on? And so Lombard, actually you are able to respond.
Okay. So as of right now, there's just smoke, smoky mist.
It's clear that it's not, that there is... Oh, God, I clicked on the button again.
Hold on a second. I think Casimir probably has a higher dex than I do.
Probably.
I would
Casimir
guess.
should probably go first.
So if I accidentally click on the thing and go back, does that mess up the stream, or are you looking at one of your maps?
It's looking at mine. It's fine.
Okay. I'm back. So, yeah. So, Lombard, I guess Casimir, you go first. Lombard, you go second. So, Casimir, you're up.
Hearing whispers and I'm seeing smoke coming from under the door.
Yep.
That's about right.
Yep. And it has some substance to it. You feel it sort of pulling at your boots right now as it's coming through the door.
I guess.
It's very weak right
I'll
now,
move
sort of
back
whispery.
from the door.
But but you
Actually,
know that
you know
it's
what?
like you feel it probing.
I'll make a stab at that smoke.
Yeah, it
Just
immediately
touch my
dissipates.
boot.
It goes away. There's no substance to it, but you can feel it, but you can't hit it. At least this part. I mean, this is like a rolling fog. You see, if you were to poke your head out the door, you would see that there's more of it down the hall.
Right. Well, at this point, I don't know what's there. I just see this kind of smoke thing, and I move
Exactly. Yep.
away, and I'm gonna try hide. And
Yeah.
yeah, don't know if it's gonna do any good.
If
But
history is any guide, you will probably disappear from reality. Yeah, you're gone. Once again, we're all like, where'd he go? Every time.
just see Casimir slashing at some smoke and then disappearing.
Right.
Yeah,
Like, oh, he did like a Naruto ninja dust thing. All right, Lombard. You see this happen, and then you don't notice Casimir drift away and hide, but you do see that the smoke is sort of curling out, and it's sort of plying at the clay of the clay golem. It not affecting it in any way, but clearly it's trying. It's It's sort of like testing.
Hmm.
Ooh,
I
I can play the.
don't think we got Mao into the initiative order.
Oh, yep, I can do that.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not sure why I didn't show up.
Yeah, I don't know either. Here, Mal, what did you roll?
Um, let me look. I don't think it even sent in the order. I had a problem with. Let me re-roll. Let me just pop one in there real quick.
That happened. Yep. There you go. 2. I see.
Let me just pop it in there.
So I got a 2 from you. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Yep. So now, yeah. So Lombard, it is your turn.
Hmm. I mean, I have no way of telling that this thing is malicious yet. I just know that there's more mist coming into the room, and I can only assume that that's probably not good.
Based on the sounds in your head, you know it's malicious.
Okay. Well, you know what they say about things that are malicious. To not be
They're
superstitious
delicious.
and to
Ah,
turn them
I was gonna,
delicious.
I was gonna go a different direction, but I like superstitious.
Um,
Now, of
I don't
course, none of you can see this thing yet. I mean, character knowledge versus player
right,
knowledge.
exactly. So I don't really exactly know what Lombard would do in this situation outside of just like
Well,
get up
that's
to
it
the
for.
door.
We're
He's
done for the
gonna
night, folks. Lombard
he's
doesn't know what he's gonna do.
yeah. We're gonna I want to get him up to the door. Again, he has
Yeah,
his 10 feet of reach. I think as soon as any kind of true mass comes through this door, if I haven't done something else, if I don't do something else in between that time, I'm just going to have a prepared action to swing the golden stein.
sounds good.
And that's just going to be it for me right now.
And apparently, the vestige's name in real life is Huiako Glove. I don't know why it's doing that, but so this thing is going to move a little bit because it's not. It is slow like death. Um, it's not in the room. It's not through the walls, but it's conforming to the space according to Boyle's law. So it is consistent of sentient Brownian motion. And then Dr. Cox, it is your turn.
I'm gonna say, Mao, Lombard, Casimir, come here and hold out your weapons. I'm gonna pour holy water on them.
Hmm.
Ooh, interesting idea.
And I'm going to hold an action to pour out a bunch of holy water from that refilling container on their weapons
Yeah.
when they come close.
Fair. Yeah. So so the clay golem could get there. Mao can come over on her turn. Cyndia has a dagger as well. She comes over, or a scalpel, and she comes over, and you can put some water on that. And then Casimir, who has disappeared, can come over as well and get some. So anyone who needs, and I'll say Sylveon when it's his turn can come over, but we can put some holy water on like Lurx's darts and stuff when it's her turn. Anything else on your turn?
Negative.
Okay. Why did the order go wonky again? All right. Clay Golem, you're up.
Clay Golem's moved already.
Clay Golem gets out of the way and and bows slightly to Mao as she approaches. Gets her holy water on her weapon, and what would you like to do, Mao?
I think Mao. Uh, oh boy, I've been debating on what Mao wants to do. I think Mao's gonna go ahead and cast Stone Skin on Mao
Yep.
in preparation.
Oh wow, yeah, okay, very good. Yep.
And then
Non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Nice. Yeah.
and
So you
I
go,
think that
you go all diamondy.
yep, and then I'm gonna go stand on kind of the opposite side of Lombard, like right there, and
Okay.
yeah, that's kind of the end of the turn there.
Cynthia goes and stands next to Mao, and she says, "Here is a good berry lollipop," and gives you a good berry lollipop.
Oh, thank you.
So you can add 1 health to your health, assuming you eat it, or you could save it.
Go ahead and just eat it now. Why not? I'm a little hungry. I could use a little
That's right.
snack.
Okay, so Lombard, I think. Am I not in the turn order?
Yeah, I don't think we
How
have
do-
you either.
Uh,
Also, Casimir's below me again.
Mon Dieu! Alright. Casimir. Alright. I'm sorry, Casimir, it's your turn.
So this ground is stone, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Let me just check something very quickly. This one. Investiture of the stone. There we go. And I'm going to, let's see. You can move through solid earth or stone as if it was air without destabilizing it, but can't end your movement there. So because there's this horrifying like sound coming through the I guess is it in our minds or is it like actually out loud?
You're not sure. You haven't talked amongst each other to see what
Not
they're
sure.
saying, or but it's. You would think that it's loud, but it's at the same time almost imperceptibly quiet. So you have to assume that it's your mind, but it's persistent.
Okay.
This is a cool spell. I've not seen this
I'm
one.
going to move.
So you can move through stone, which all these walls are, and you can use your action at this time or any time to create a earthquake.
I guess it's any time, like during my turn.
Okay.
So I'm going to peek through the wall and get a look at what this thing is.
Yeah, so you poke your head through the wall, and what you see is really not very heartening. You see the vestige, and so the vestige is a large smoke entity made up of mist, and it holds its form like in the moment right now. In the picture. Although it looks like I got my screenshot cursor in there too. That's great. It's formed into a skull, but it also is. It can take any form that it really wants, but it's clearly taking a menacing form. If you had to describe it, it's sort of like a mist octopus with infinite tentacles, just sort of oozing and curling its way towards the door.
Okay, so after popping out and seeing this, I'm gonna pop back in. Giant smoke skull monster with tentacles.
I also need you to make an intelligence save, but I want to check that because it's important that I get it right, because that's how it used to be an intelligence save. I think it's changed now in 5e. Where is it?
That's a shame.
Oh, because you have a high intelligence?
It's wisdom. I'm doomed. Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely wisdom then.
Fuck.
Does a 200 hit? Okay, here we go. So I'll describe to you the mist form. It's a huge cohesive mist that can move in any direction. And it looks like you can pass through it. Like, it's a mist. It is not. It is. It looks dangerous. It's very thick mist. It's very dank, but it is not like it. You feel like you could move through it if you wanted to. And also, I need you to. Yeah, it's a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw. I'm not kidding. But since I said intelligence at the beginning, go ahead and do a intelligence if that's going to be better for you this time. But from now on, it isn't a
It's gonna be
a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
And so,
Well, if you'll give me that grace, then let's try the luck. Oh,
yeah, so,
okay.
yeah, look at that. You got it. Yeah, so it was a 17, and you are able to shake off the effect. But you felt like for a second there that you were going to give in to the fear, and you were going to race as far away from this thing as you possibly could, because it is death incarnate. Okay.
So I've
And with
come
that,
back into the room and I've screamed at everyone about the smoky skull mist thing with tentacles. And
yes.
I
And
guess
so,
I'm gonna use my bonus action to hide.
That's
Yep.
why you need to get
And-
over here so I can douse your weapon with holy water.
Does he have enough movement
I'm
left? I don't think he
panicking.
No,
does.
he doesn't.
Yep,
supposed to
he
do
doesn't
less.
have enough movement
No.
left. That's all right. Suboptimal choices for roleplay are acceptable.
I don't even know if it's gonna do anything.
I'm on top of syrup. I should move. Mon Dieu, syrup. Je apologie.
Dare you?
I am so sorry. Did I step on your little paw?
You did. That is very rude.
We actually all need to make a wisdom saving throw, because when this thing is within 100 feet of us, we need to see if we can beat 17 or better. So, if everyone would please give me a wisdom saving throw. You're safe, Casimir. Shit.
All right. Oh, this is not looking good.
Yeah. All right. So, Lombard, you are terrified of this thing. You are not able to do anything. In fact, in the case of you and I, it is what's called an unnatural fear, because we failed so poorly. And we have to take the dash action on our next turn and move as far away from this thing as possible. So unfortunately, the only thing you can do right now is move as far away from that door as this room will allow, and that your movement will allow.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to find a scared thingy to put on my token.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. We'll make you look... we'll frighten you up.
It's not really a good looking one.
No, I mean, some of them...
Oh, there we go. There's
what is that?
this-
What is that? A
screaming at the
ski
very. There's one that says screaming at the very bottom. I got it. It's
Oh, there you
good.
go. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good
what's
one. I like that
what's my
one.
move speed? Yeah, I can do that. Okay. I've got 80 feet with dash, so to the corner
And
I
you
go.
run screaming to the corner. Wow, that went completely off my microphone. Like it completely dropped out. You just every waveform got chopped off. So yeah, you're in the corner whimpering at the moment, and that will end your turn, unfortunately. And then now the vestige creeps ever further towards us. It moves its movement. It stops at the door just before it can come in because it's out of movement. But it is now Dr. Cox's turn.
I am going to pull out my concertina and start
Nice.
b-boying on the back of Ninja Meow's as he walks from this location, which is within 30 feet of Lombard, to this location, which was within 30 feet of Casimir.
Okay.
So the
Optimal spacing
yeah,
to benefit them both.
indeed.
Now, does that in fact counter that?
No,
the counter
the
charm?
next time they have to make a saving throw against the fear, they'll have advantage.
Sweet. Oh,
So
that'll be
they can
good.
use that to break the effect also.
Yeah, provided you can survive standing there in front of the door. Anyway, moving on. We've got Mao's turn. Yes.
I think I can take one hit.
Oh boy. Let's see.
Mao, you saved, so you are able to take an action this turn.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do this turn. Let's see. Doctor, do you have any good ideas? You normally seem to have
Oh,
something.
wait, Doctor, did you your wisdom save was 12, so you have to you can't do the counter charm. You have to flee.
Okay.
You wanted to, in your mind you're doing that, but in fact you're terrified.
What about
Can-
Ninja
Okay.
Meows? Is Ninja Meows terrified?
I am assuming that Ninja Meows takes its emotional cue. Is Ninja Meows a boy or a girl? I'm afraid to check.
Ninja's a boy.
He takes his emotional cues from you.
Can Mouse see it yet, or is it still?
No, you can hear the
Yeah,
discordant
maybe
whispers and nightmarish sounds. It looks like it's
Yeah.
bulging in the hall or in the thing, but just imagine that it's
Yeah, I
squeezed
think I'm
into
just
the.
gonna
That's enough
hold the
to.
action with the great axe.
So just hearing it in the hall is enough to activate the fear. We don't have to see it.
Yeah, anything within 100 feet of this.
Fuck. Boy, did we ever pick the wrong place to try and fight this thing.
Well, it's a bit of a box canyon, and the rain is coming down.
Well, actually, I think yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and hold the action with my great axe, just if anything enters the room.
Clay Gollum looks at you, its master, running in terror, and kind of puts its hand on its head and sort of scratches.
No, Mouse standing ground.
Cynthia comes over to you. She can't go that far. I'll say she comes down here to the larger group, and calls to you and says, "Are you in need of assistance, Citizen Cox? Are you in need of assistance?" And she appears to be heading towards you to try and help you.
Well, I can't do anything about that right now.
Nope. Casimir, it is your turn.
I just see all the people around me running into corners. Except for
Yeah.
Mal.
True.
Oh, did you roll a... Oh, no, you passed. Never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
So I guess I'm going to make a bit of an effort here. I'm gonna go through the stone and attack it, which is probably really ill-advised, but going for a booming blade.
Sure. Swing away.
27 to hit.
Yeah, 27 does hit. You feel it slide into the mist, and it feels like it has it is cut into something of substance as opposed to simply whiffing through it like the first little tendrils of fog that you did. And so it does some damage. Go ahead and give me what that damage is. Yep. Okay.
Okay. That's a 22, which is an amazing, and the thunder. Oh, 20 thunder. Okay, that's cooler.
And so
and
first
now
22.
Plus 20.
Yep. And then yeah, it's substantial, but you have no idea how much damage that is or isn't. You can't tell if it's done any damage. You feel like it
Yep.
has,
and
but
so
you're fighting a cloud.
For all I know, yeah, I could have just done absolutely nothing, even if it did feel like it has purchase. And so now I'm going to try to draw this thing away. And I'm going to move into this wall over here. So that's another 35. Actually, no, if I move here, that'll be 60. So then I can hide. I'm going to move over here. Let's say,
yep.
I'm going to blow a raspberry at it. And then hide over here.
You feel like the voices have gotten angrier, but you don't. You can't tell if you've done any damage to it at all because it's fog. So, all right. Lombard, you are able to attempt to escape from your terror. If you could give me a wisdom saving throw, you are not able to escape from your terror, and so it continues. You are cowered in fear in the corner.
Fantastic. Well, guys, I'm wholly terrified.
And so this creature then is going to move up here, and it's going to start coming through the door. Actually, no, it's going to follow Casimir because it's the only one that it's seen so far. And so it's starting to emerge through the door. So what you can see in the door right now is what you could hit if you were in the room with it. So
it also takes an extra 16 damage because it moved.
Sure. Yep. So there we go. So now we've got the thing in the room with you. And since only part of it is in the room, I'm not going to use all of its attacks. I'm going to use some of its attacks. All right, so does a 21, a 22, and a 25 hit?
Yeah, my AC is 21.
All right, so the 22 and the 25 and the 21 hit.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, they don't. I have to be within 10 feet of you, and I'm out of movement.
Thank God.
So you see this thing take wild swings at you, and crackling energy lashes out, and for a moment the smoke forms into a hand and clutches at you, but it is unable to do it. And you get a sense that this is a creature that is consisting entirely of concentrated hate. All right, Dr. Cox, you are able to roll to get out of your fear.
How about a 21?
That'll do it. So you shake it off, and you go, "Oh my God, what is that thing?" And you're back in the game. I'll say that it's taken half of your movement, but you can still use half of your movement.
Did I take my action? I
mean, technically it should, but no, it didn't. right? I mean, technically it should consume your action to escape from the effect, right?
I think technically you're only supposed to be able to do that at the end of your turn.
Yes, but
Yeah.
you're probably going to need this, so yeah, you can do it. Depending on what you do.
All right, so I'm gonna counter charm,
Yes, now you can counter charm.
and I'm gonna move here so I can cover everybody.
All right. So you start planking away on your uh, what is it?
I'm playing my
It's not an accordion; it's a melodeon, or
Revertina.
what is concertina? That's right,
concertina, yeah, Reveler's concertina.
Reveler's concertina. Okay, and so that will help Lombard gain advantage on his attempt. Great. So that's your action, Mao. It is your turn. You don't see anything coming through the door because it's actually moving through the door on the other side, trying to get to Casimir.
Yeah.
You see that the tendrils have started to pull back, though. So you feel like it might be moving away. You're not sure.
Okay, quick question. Ken might know this better. I don't know, but can you cast Hunter's Mark on something you can't see, or can I just go ahead and like cast it? Because
Yeah,
I think it has
you,
to be. You have to see it.
you have to see it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So since I can't really cast Hunter's Mark yet, and I'm not really sure which direction it's really, at, I'm just gonna go ahead and stay holding the same action. Like if I see anything, I'm gonna go ahead and attack it. But I
Yep.
think I'm also going to go ahead and try to move closer to the doctor. I'm gonna go ahead and move this way.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna kind of stay towards the middle of like the little triangle of all of us. And I
Seems
think
wise.
that's where
That
I'm
way you
gonna hold
can
my action in the turn.
you can move wherever you need to.
Yeah, there we go.
Clay Golem is glad to see that you're back, and it has a satisfied look on its clay face. What would it like to do?
The clay golem is going to stand up next to the door where it is now and smack anything hostile that comes through.
Okay, sounds good. Question. Is because it is a magical construct, are its melee attacks considered magical?
It has this ability.
Yep, that's
Yes.
what I needed to know.
At the end of the
and
round, I'd like to yell out, "Everybody get close to me, I'll teleport us into the other room."
ooh, Casimir would not be able to hear that. The cacophony of voices is very loud where he is, and so he's in
Can I
a
activate
different
my
room.
sending stone when I say that?
Already being used.
Not in the last
It's
24
all. You've
hours.
also. Is that your interaction with an object?
It's kind of what I was
Bonus
hoping
action?
for.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. The standing stone in your pocket begins to buzz, Casimir, and you're like, "I'm a little busy right now," as these things are trying to claw the literal life out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, that does sound like a pretty distracting situation. Besides that and the yells and everything.
So, what do you tell Casimir?
The same thing I yell out at everybody else. Get close to me and I'll teleport us to the other room.
Okay. Cynthia obeys and uses her movement to get close to you, and she climbs on back of Ninja Meows and puts her arms around you and says, "Is this close enough, Citizen Dr. Cox?"
Just don't move.
She doesn't say anything because doing so would make her move.
Thank goodness.
And Casimir, we're back to you. So the stone in your pocket buzzes. You hear Dr. Cox yell, "Get to me and I'll teleport us to the other room." What do you do?
Ignore that. I'm still thinking like I'm gonna distract the fuck out of this thing, and so I'm gonna move up to it and attack it again hoping that this is actually doing something. And let's see, going for another booming blade. 32 to hit.
32 hits, yes.
So that's 26 plus plus 10. And so that was 25 to get me to here. This time I'm not going to hide.
36
I'm
total.
going to yes. Wait, no. No, 26. No, oh
26.
no, sorry, you're right, 36. Yeah,
Okay.
36. 26 what's it called? Magical piercing and
Yes.
10 thunder. Okay, so I can move, what was it? I moved 25 to get here. So I can move 35. So I can move through the wall. So I'm gonna kind of like run past this thing and then through the wall over to here. And so it knows that I've gone this way. And yeah, that's
And
the end of my turn.
and are you moving
Oh wait, no,
through?
that's 60.
Yes.
I can actually
So
move all the way up to like here. That's 90. Yeah, so I'm moving through the wall over to here. So I'm letting it see where I'm going.
okay. And so it sees that you have done that, and you disappear. Now, let me see. Okay, no, you're good. Um,
How are you going through
Lombard,
the wall?
he has he's using a
Investiture of stone.
investiture of
Oh, that's
stone
right,
spell,
because it's a stone tower.
and it lasts 10 minutes. So
Well,
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to draw this thing away while you guys rally. But yeah, Lombard, your turn.
oh, I also need to. Am I not in initiative? I rolled 21 for
Oh
initiative,
yeah, you
and
still haven't rolled.
I'm still feared, so it almost doesn't matter.
um,
But I'll put myself in the turn.
yeah. Well, nonetheless, before I go,
So I
will
am.
the vestige reach Casimir Brandis? Will Lombard stop cowering in the corner? Will the doctor finally give us those pills he's been thinking about making? Find out next week on Crit Cats.
I didn't even notice that it was time.
Yeah, I get to have a week to think of what I'm going to do if I actually succeed on this throw.
Yes, and also how you're going to clean the urine out of your armor.
Oh, man. Trust me. If anything, it's just going to polish it at this point.
Very good. And thank you all for watching and joining chat, and we'll see you next week, hopefully.
Yeah, make sure you're following us on the socials, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Reddit. Join the Discord if you haven't done so already. There will be a link in the chat in just a second. Come play some games. We got Friday Night Fights and Saturday Night Slaughter starting back up, so there's slots opening up for some cool PvP
That's gonna be
and
fun.
PvE stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Make sure you're part of it. We've been Crit Cats. We'll see you next Monday. No, sorry, Tuesday for Spelljammer.
Sounds great.
Bye.